Right, finally, we got there in the end. It's an earlier start today, so apologies to anybody who normally tunes in later. I think I'm going to go make a coffee whilst this is all happening. And then we'll go through the map and kind of what this is all about, etc., etc. There is a healthy amount of resources, and that is what you like to see. And an egregiously large stone patch. There should be no problem getting walls up in this game at all. Cool. Yeah, let's do that. Because it always takes a couple of minutes to get this game up and running anyway. So. Right, Actually, let's see what I'll do. I'll wait until round 1 is over. I'll start round 2 up, and then I'll go make a coffee. It's going to be a long day. I'm kind of liking this time. I know that a lot of the Americans aren't particularly happy about starting at 1 o'clock GMT, 2 o'clock CET. But yeah, we might be switching things up a little bit. I know that there are a couple of Australians and potentially a few other people, Southeast Asia, etc., that can join us on this. So yeah, we might need to kind of mix things up a little bit. But let's post the link. Get better again. Nice. And there are a lot of people in voice chat. You love to see it. No. Intimidator all the way from Australia. Finally, he can get in and play. Link first. We're still on POC, I'm happy with that. Let's look at who we've got on each side. Runeborgler, strong player. Gabriel Forud, never heard Eagle. Based off what plus bits. North looking strong with Everlord in North as well. Holy. Run a few more rounds of picks. I'm getting off. Whilst these guys pick their strategy, I'm going to head off and make a coffee. And then we'll break down what's about to happen. There are a couple of people who could be joining in that haven't yet. I guess they'll be joining us later. Just Bob's coming in too. Awesome. Right, you've got 5 mins to sort out strats. I need to be shouting at them, don't I? Actually shouting. Not let me pick. Interesting. So there's an issue with picking. We haven't come into that before. Unless it's a group of people that are trying to be picked all as a one. I think there was like a group of 3. Let's try this way, right? It's Clutch's first pick. There we go. He managed. Cool, alright, yeah, there we go, right, so I'm gonna go make a coffee, right. Yeah, we'll get all of you in, mate, we'll get all of you in, but for now, actually, I will do this late pick thing for 60 seconds. I do want to get off and make a coffee though, haven't had one today, I think I'm in desperate need of one for later. Right. Alright, happy days. I am back with a coffee. Let's see if anybody else wants to join in, and I think we're ticking into like the last couple of minutes of this picking phase, and then we can get going. Mega Jerry still to join, Friendly Fire still, Rax, developer. Absolutely. Let's give him a final warning. 1 min. Bro, hey McIntyre, how's it going, my dude? Yeah, we're starting slightly early today and finishing slightly early. I've got a wedding to drive to later in Wales, of all places. Hey Kobe, nice to have you with us, my dude. Yeah, the 1 o'clock start, it's not going to be kind of atypical of what we do, but I've got a sick dog, very, very sick dog, a very irate missus at the moment, and I'm going to be spending about 6 hours in the car later with both of them, so yeah, I think I need to clear my head with some Vitals today, at least to begin with anyway. But I hope you guys are having a better weekend than me. And generally speaking, Happy New Year if we've not talked. And I'm going to start this game. Surely we're ready to go. It's 13-15. Some of the Americans aren't able to make it with us today, but that's fine. As we get the numbers of doom cascade upon our lovely screens. We need to have a look at the map because I have been making a coffee. Hi Ness, nice to have you with us. Good luck, have fun. Definitely. It's a really generous opening gambit we have in both mains. Tons of copper, tons of coal, tons of iron, and you'd love to see it over 500k stone. So I'm looking forward to this. I can't see any deficiencies, I guess, within the map. You could argue potentially that there isn't a grade. Whoever cropped those numbers, you did a bad job. You can't please some people. Yeah, there's some decent uranium kicking around. Oil seems to be sparse until you get to the far reaches of the western areas of the map. Ah, don't worry, dude. We're having we're having 2 games, I think, today. There's this early game, and if this finishes in about 4 or 5 hours, I believe there'll be another game set up as well. So, plenty of opportunity to play today. And yeah, oil's looking slightly sparse on this western area. I mean, you've got to go really far out to kind of grab your, liquid gold. But Maine seems to have a decent smattering of oil deposits. Outpost areas, I guess you could potentially get away with a decent outpost area, although to the west, large copper patches do exist, but they're much more spread apart. Okay, I'm happy with this. Well, firstly, for everybody joining, welcome. We are back up and running, and I am planning to stream a lot more in 2024. It's just been a hell of a ride. This opening 20 days has been wild in many good ways, and many, many others not so much. But we've got a lot kind of planned. I was going to actually start streaming some Dota, and then kind of like running through some bits and pieces. But part of me says, like, why expose the most toxic part of myself to everybody else? Because I'm not the same person as a Bite Battles caster as I am Dota player, trust me. I'm just as calm, but I'm like 100 times more toxic. But you would be too if you saw some of the clown fuckery that happens in that game. So we're looking at some smelting going down here, or power coming down here. I mean, with a coal patch this size, you can imagine the power block you could fund with that would be enormous. And typically, I like to get these out as early as possible. I'm so glad I've got these back. Thought I'd lost them, but typically with coal patch this size, you want to be building power either the left or the right of main. You don't want to have it go too far. Yeah, buddy. Oh, it's still working. There was a point where it started to crap out on me, this drawing tool. So the South captain is Link, North captain is Clutch. We don't see Clutch that often in games. I mean, he typically doesn't really last that long in games because of the internet connection, so you hope that this captain can be there all the way to the very end. You can imagine with these teams, Vortex outlining an aggressive smelting setup for this mix patch. I mean, we don't really see a lot of mix patch utilization, if I can get those words out, but it's highly efficient if you can. It's free real estate. Right, you'll be going up north. I'm gonna take a breath, and then we will swap this music out, I think. Yeah, I need to rebalance stuff. Give me a second. There we go, that should be a little better. I'm also going to change the music as well. This was just like a interim, stick something on whilst everyone's picking teams. Yeah, I played in the BPL recently, and that's why the music was quite high. I don't do a huge amount of talking. I was more or less just grinding. That was a hell of a grind, BPL. Great fun. Highly recommend it if you guys are into Path of Exile. But it was nails, mate. Absolutely nails. My team came third. I'm really happy about that. I couldn't really have done a huge amount more because I'm like quite a new player to Path of Exile. I don't know all the ins and outs. But Jesus, was it fun. 13 on 15, a relatively healthy team size here, with more people coming in. As crowds joins, I'll then do our late joiners picking. Friendly Fire once in. Crowds is in. Oh, that's good coffee. Putness is in as well. Excellent. We have 3 more players joining us. Buffing up the ranks. So this is very standard for Ling as a captain. He likes to get his blueprints down early. This half smelter will be stone, and with a stone patch this generous, I would advise any team, or anybody in a team, to look at something like this and begin smelting rocks immediately into bricks, and then bricks into walls. There is really no huge amount. Let's do a bit more drawing, actually. There's not an enormous amount of area. Normally, like water bodies like these lakes here offer you kind of defensive opportunities, cover a lot of ground. But at the moment, you can see this area is vast and open. So your defensive box will need to cover like quite a lot of area here. I mean, you can imagine potentially something like this. And to do that, you'll need to kind of create a lot of brick walls, literally from the word go. You don't want to be hanging around here. You don't want to be messing about. So if I zoom in just a wee bit, maybe at the beginning of the game, you set your walls up, cover you something like this, then we'll use a different color. Your like secondary boundary, your secondary wall, whilst you have your bots, can cover a much wider space and open up the area that you use. Oh, Laramir, that sucks, man. I hate not sleeping too. I actually suffer from insomnia, so yeah, the struggle is real. But welcome, and I hope that we can get you. We can have a chill stream for you, and hopefully you can fall asleep during the stream. I'd hate to lose a streamer or a viewer, but at the same time, too, mate, I know what it's like not sleeping. It is grim. And if you've been up for 2 or 3 days, trust me, things sound weird. Weird things start happening. So, West Coast. Oh, right, bloody hell. So have you got a whole day ahead of you then? But it's the weekend. Surely you working weekends, or are you kind of like able to at least sit on the sofa and chill for a bit? If I had to do a full shift after that, I would not be a happy bunny, tell me that much. And it looks to me like the sound isn't coming through at all. There we go. Hang on, is that? God, I need to figure my stuff out. Here we go, that's better. Also, let me know. In Europe today, I am indeed. And beyond that, I am driving to a wedding later. So I am having to host this slightly earlier than normal. And beyond that too, having to rush off. If this goes on really late, let's say for instance this game prolongs itself to the 6 or 7 hour mark, I'm going to have to hand this off. No work for you? Hey man, sometimes it's a hard choice to make, but it's the right one to do. I've definitely stayed in jobs where it was not healthy to stay. It wasn't giving me the money I needed, it wasn't giving me the sanity I needed, and you gotta look after yourself every now and again, mate. You can't like effectively like throw all of your efforts and energy at a wall and get zero reward for it. other than the fact that it pays rent, right? Sometimes you need to step back, get yourself on a course. It's not easy for everybody, obviously. I'm quite lucky. Every now and again, if I need money, I can go and cook, which I will be doing next month. I've got 2 weddings to cook for, and a baby shower, which I'll be doing some culinary work for. But I agree, mate. You don't want to be burning out for something that's not going to give you anything back. And the hole that is left by you leaving is like pulling a hand out of a bucket of water. They will fill that gap instantly. So I know people bang on about, oh yeah, you're a trusted employee, and you're not, mate. I mean, it's nice to know that you're valued, but at the end of the day, business is business. And they will go on. So what happened here? So there was an ambitious amount of smelting going on here for this mixed patch. And then they've abandoned it. I think Vortex was looking to do that. Where is he now? Maybe Vortex is going to help with the initial kind of smelting and then head off and do that. Meanwhile, the North are looking to completely build over this mixed patch. And we'll see here the beginning of them all. And Signs 1, Signs 2. So why did he quit? I don't want to ask too many personal questions, obviously, but why did he quit? Was it just hours were shit, or the people were pretty crap? I find management tends to be really like a really defining factor if I'm sticking around or not. You know, if my stuff, if I need to cover a shift and I get less than 12 hours notice, that's definitely a management problem. That's not a me problem if I can't make that. As we can see here, the initial kind of Signs flower that you can see, we have, and obviously red being the most basic Signs, it's the easiest one to build. We only need iron plates melted into iron gears. Iron gears and copper plates will make us some of these glorious red jugs that go into these laboratory buildings, and they'll research you some science. What do you want, little cat? I know the dog smells. You don't I've got a very angry senior cat here yowling at me. I do apologise if anybody picks that up on the mic. My dog is now sleeping where he likes to sleep. The mixed patches used to be coal dominant, and I think they got nerfed or tweaked a little bit. So as you can see now, they're rings rather than like splodges. It used to be just kind of like a patch like this, just in the middle of everything else. So I believe that the ratio has been swapped around a little bit. And if I'm being completely honest with you, it's been a while since I've played. I've been quite busy generally, but these look a lot more appealing to me. You'd have to pick the right area of them to mine. I wouldn't mine in the entirety of one, because obviously it's like dominant copper or dominant iron. But I believe if you were to pick the right cross section of a mixed patch, I genuinely think you can get something done here. Even if it is something as simple as sign spam, wall production, you could even go for something like, even like a secondary mall. Just building just basic components at the early part of the game. Your traditional mall will never go out of fashion. This will always be the right way to play, or the most efficient way to play, until somebody else redefines how to do this, which I don't think they really can at this point. But beyond that, these mixed patches certainly do provide some usefulness. I guess we'll see, maybe somebody make the most of it, although where our outpost is, that's a pretty aggressive outpost, isn't it? Terminator, Roomboggler, Bits, Clutch, and Eagle up on the northeast, making use of these mixed patches. Here we go. Okay, so maybe just for Burner City, rather than running between, as you can see here in this opening kind of stage of the game, people will be running between the coal, between the iron, between the copper, and between the stone. Maybe these mixed patches offer you some speed at the beginning of the game because you are in one area. Break in the short term, do my own thing in the long term. Hey man, all the best is what I say. I cut loose from working traditional jobs about 10 years ago, I want to say. Maybe a bit more, maybe 11 actually, because of COVID, to be fair. About 11 years ago, and I've never looked back. There is a risk attached to doing something that's not what you'd call a 9 to 5, but I would recommend, for your own sanity and for your own well-being, if you're working a job which is grinding you down, stop. There's always going to be work, mate. Even if it is laying brick, plastering walls, I don't know, cooking at McDonald's, like, it doesn't matter. Like, your health and your well-being and your mental state is much more important than having somebody drag you down. And like you said, good company, good co-workers, but yeah, sometimes you do need to take a reset. I went from, where did I go? I went from working in an office. Apologies if my voice is a bit scratchy. It's just that time of year, everything's cold. I went from working in an office. I had a terrible boss. The boss knew they were terrible. She was going through a divorce at the time, and really wasn't interested. Like literally, somebody could be dying in front of her, and she just wouldn't wouldn't give a shit. In many ways, I felt sorry for her, but in other ways, I'm sat there going, but it's more professional, it is personal, really. I got kind of jerked around a little bit in that job and decided to sack it off. Started cooking. Cooking was great. I love chefing, but full-time chefing is a grind and a half. It really does burn you out. I like doing it, but I don't love doing it. So it's not something that I can do for the entirety of my life. But I've got the qualifications required to chef. So every now and again, when I need some extra work, I'll work on the weekends and do that. Thule. Hello. I've always wondered, is it Thule or Thul? Or Tull? Nice to have you with us either way. And then yeah, after that I just started working gig work, you know. Every time somebody needs something, I just try and figure it out. And yeah, great fun. Risky, and at times, money was good, other times. Somewhere between the last two. Thule. Thule. Reminds me of like a really Scandinavian Norwegian type name, you know. But good to have you with us, mate. I hope you're doing well. And obviously, Happy New Year, you know. Hope your 2024 is going well, mate. Right, my cat is staring at me very aggressively, so I think he's about to tear my eyeballs out. I'm going to go and see what he wants. Eh? What do you want, you little furball? I know, the dog's losing more useful. What do you want? Yeah, scratching me's not going to work. Alright, problem solved. So yeah, we're looking at a really healthy game today, you know, 15-17. I know it's earlier, so not a lot of Americans have been able to make this, or a lot of the West Coast Americans will still be in bed. But the South appear to have like the beginnings of an outpost. I guess it'll be Carl Whisper. But that's not enough people to outpost correctly, surely. You'd need to be grabbing more people from Maine. But do they have them though? Let's have a look around. International Love. Very nice name for a team. Ling, Carl, Soldier, Cogfun, Trilliben, Whisper, Fire, you'd imagine would outpost, Vortex, Crowds, Just Bob, Friendly Fire. They do have outposts here. Zer, Spirit, Monkey Lol. As well as a good mixture of main players, but the North have Grimboggler, Fitzorio, Timinator, Eagle, Clutch, who's captain of North, by the way. Yeah, that's looking good. Alright, and we still have people coming in. Fantastic. We're building. I've yet to see Abigail J play any of these, by the way. No, not throwing shade or anything, but doesn't want to come in. Alright, mate. You press the button. So yeah, beginnings of green signs being built here. Level 1, obviously being the red signs, which is very basic components created in an assembly machine. Oh no. Will create you your red jugs. Here with blue signs, you'll need these yellow transport belts, which are effectively just made out of plates and cogs, as well as your yellow inserters, which are plates, cogs, and also green chips. So it's slightly more developed setup to get into that level of science, however, not the most complex. And for new players, I would argue that most of you as newbies, as people less than kind of, you know, a few games of Biter Battles, you'd be able to set this up quite well. So, alright, and more people coming in. Love to see it. Okay, just smiling, NASA. Right, Smiling's heading up north. 16-17. We like it. If we can get to 20-20, I'll be a very happy referee. Power blocks looking healthy for the south. North again, building out their smelting. They are taking their sweet time, but this will provide them an enormous amount of resources. And again, as we said, this very healthy and generous amount of ore here. I can't imagine we look at like a spam, throwy type game. We'd probably get into rockets here, I could imagine. And if we don't, somebody fucked up. Yeah, somebody really got it wrong. The South are quicker to stick this down, though. I believe they've kind of gotten everybody on board. There's like multiple people building this, whereas up north, there's lots of kind of movement, a lot of motion. But you'd want to be plugging these things in quite soon. You know, you want these working from the moment you can till the very end of the game. So, the sooner you get them up, the better. Let me dive into the research queues real quick. We'll take a look at what people are doing. Fast inserters for the north, very standard stuff. And as I'm thrown back into Spectator Island, electronics and fast inserters. So the south are somewhat behind, although their ambition is a lot greater. As we can see here, the lab kind of array is being stepped down. We can see already the beginnings of green signs kind of floating towards these labs. And with an array this large, they'd easily be able to catch up on signs. No questions asked. This is a formidable setup if they can get up and running. And again, I think the limiting factor here will be things like gears, because everything needs gears at the beginning of the game. As well as, these yellow inserters. They're always a bit of a pain at the very, very beginning, but yeah, they'll be able to back that up in no time. Smelting is going down. All the furnaces are in. Bricks. Love to see it. If I'm new, I'm not, but if I was, and I'd be looking for a role or a job to do at the beginning of the game. Oh, sorry. I'd make bricks. And then I'd make bricks into walls. And I'd wall up everything. Which this absolute mad lad seems to be doing in spades. Look at this. Monkey lol. Perfect. This is exactly what I was talking about. Literally just now. Find a stone patch. You don't even have to use the stuff in main. Leave this stuff to the people that, are in main. Find a little stone patch very close to you. Get a little bit of coal off of a mixed patch locally. Feed it in and get some bricks up. All you need to do. Perfect. And mall's going down. Happy days. Right, can I shift this around a little bit? Can I fucking shift this? Apparently not. Nah, I'm not going to mess around with it right now. It'll just screw everything up. Oh dear. So, we looks to be a one outpost game. I'm not sure exactly what this guy's aims and ambitions are. He's on Whisper's turf, I guess? These guys know each other? Is this FTNS? Could be. Probably is. Interesting, Carl's going for a solo outpost. It's not like Carl to do this. Carl normally plays in like quite well scripted, well versed rocket based outposts, so yeah, interesting. I would argue the North took the lead a little bit early on, but the South is storming ahead, man. Ling's got this opening game down to a T. Like the very opening part of the game is just fucking rapid. Still going to have to defend a little bit against the bugs, but we won't see any early stens here. Is Carl going for spam? Big conversations in the Ling house. Oh dear, hopefully Mum Ling and Dad Ling aren't getting in the way. Let's be Takalog, wouldn't it? Probably absolutely butchered that. I think it's Takalog. Terribly spelled, but relatively accurate. Even North's outpost going quicker than their main. Such is the way, though, right? These are the more skilled players. Clutch is trying to make use of a mix patch here. That's interesting. I wonder what the play will be. Maybe Clutch goes for some kind of spam? Yeah, I mean, that's got to be the way, right? You've got a mix patch up here. Potentially, maybe the play is to go and spam whilst you have an outpost up. But surely that's not worth it, right? That just wasting time when you could be working on other projects. Unless it fuels a bit of purple later? That's not efficient, surely. No. He's going for spam. I mean, that's a very clutch move, right? And not clutch as in like, oh, he just clutched it out, like the player clutch. If the question is spam, the answer is when, not maybe. Chrono's joining us. This is frightening speed now. Mill Science is looking to come up. Yeah, I believe that the AI is now aggressive. The reason being, I think outposts have too much of an easy time. Why is my chat not showing? Oh, I can read your messages, so I'll just read it out. Something about AI being aggressive on outposts. Is this a thing in Captain's Game? I'm not sure if the AI has been transposed over to the Captain's Game, although we're on the same server. So I hope that they are, because my contention is this. Let me get my drawing tools out, right? And I'll just take the North as an example, because their outpost is far away from Maine. Your objective always is in the center of your starting base, right? Your objective is here, in this little blue square, somewhere in that area, right? And so your defensive effort, if you're in the main base, should be around protecting that blue square with the defensive yellow square, right? I mean, this is obviously really, basic or simplistic. I don't mean to offend you, simple explanations, but in my mind, this is how this works. But throughout the entirety of this game, that yellow square is going to be battered and bruised by the bugs coming in, fighting it, and so you're going to need a lot of players inside of it kind of counter that aggressive play from the bugs. Meanwhile, far away from your main objective, you used to have, I guess what you'd probably call within this this white square, a relatively peaceful existence. You would get attacked, but nowhere near enough. And obviously, a lot of outposts don't even build walls around their base. They'll build a laser line. They'll get like 1/5, maybe 2/5 of the aggression that main base gets. But they also get to the end game, which is rocket building and game winning environments. So I'm sat there going, you're not part of the main defensive area here. You get to play out here and you get less aggression, and you're typically the more skilled players, so you should be able to defend correctly. I don't mind there being more aggressive bugs on outposts. It just means outposts need to adapt. That's literally my thinking on it, is that you can't play an aggressive game safely, softly, and far away from the objective and not expect to get battered and bruised. Carl's out here on his own, for instance, right? Just as an example. Carl's out here on his own, and he could get attacked at any moment, right? Is that fair on Carl? No. But at the same time, why is Carl on his own? It's a risky thing to do, to put this much resources and this skill in one area alone. So if he loses these miners and some of this smelting, you need to bring a friend, mate. You need to bring somebody else with you. Snow everywhere. I haven't seen snow in years, mate. Bloody flipping global warming and all that. No, I'm not going to go down that route, but yeah. So my contention is threading back to the outpost side of things. Yes, it's good that they can come out here, and yes, it's good that they are fast. There's nothing wrong with outposting, but it's a risk, and if you choose to take that risk, you need to kind of suck up to the consequences. You are open to being attacked across a very large area of your base. that you are not willing to defend. If I see outposters build defenses, then fair enough. But if you don't, and for 2 hours you don't have to build a single wall because nothing's coming here, nah, get real. Come on. This isn't a sandbox game. This base, I guarantee you, as well as this base, are going to be under attack like they're in the ring with Mike Tyson for the entirety of the game. They're going to be under attack. So they have to defend themselves. It's part of the game. It's part of how you play. You don't get to kind of choose to have an easy existence. I know that outposting's hard. It's not easy, but it's too easy at the moment, I think. Far too easy. Yeah, that was in May, so it's not that news. I was thinking that as well. We went through a phase of having more aggressive bugs, but I haven't seen it recently, so I didn't understand if it was like they'd cranked it up a little bit, but I don't know, man. I like games where you have to fight, you know, where you have to adapt. If, say, for instance, and I don't want it to happen, but let's say B-Man over here, because I can't pronounce his entire name, he gets attacked and all of this goes down, right? That sucks. But you're out here on your own, and there's nobody close enough to help you. That's a risk. You're taking a huge risk here, and it could pay off, and it could, you know, give your team the game. You could create a laser outpost here, but at the same time, if you die, it's on you. And I wouldn't blame the bugs. If you tune the bugs down for stuff like this, because, you know, you don't want individual players or individual outposts, then all you're doing is tuning down the aggression that comes onto main as well. So, you know, get good. People don't want to hear it though. I poked a little bit in Discord saying, oh yeah, well, you know, you need to, you know, increase skill, get good. But it's kind of true, right? And how many of us, we all know it, we've all been there. How many of us have been in a game where the outposters won't even have a machine gun on them? They'll have the starting pistol and no grenades. So you've built this entire, like, complex, quick, speedrun type design, but you're not even willing to upgrade your own personal defense? Come on. Don't be like that. Do you know what I mean? Like get better, be better. Defend yourself at all times, you know. The bugs are everywhere. You're surrounded by them. They are coming. Get ready. Like this. You know, main will deal with this all game, from now until the end of the game. And if you choose to keep your starting pistol rather than build a machine gun that will kill these quicker, you'll lose more stuff. It depends on how much energy you want to put into defending yourself, keeping the stuff alive that you have put down. It sounds like I'm hating it. I'm not. But I like difficult games. And the reason we play this is because it's always different. It's always changing. For any of you who, and I know that everybody here plays this game that's watching, but if there is that one or two people that have just joined that are new, the reason why the game is fun and we play this all the time is because the game itself changes. The topography, the geography of the map changes every time. Oh, Draggy wants to play. Let's get you in. I'm going to balance a little bit here and throw some people up north so that we can get closer to 20 on 20. Come on, Draggy, mate. I'm not sitting here forever. So yeah, the geography of the map changes each time. So every time we play, these patches will be in different spots. The oil might be further away. The kind of geography, the topology, like the lakes will be in different places. If there are lakes, there might not be as many trees, which is a real pain in the ass. We've all played desert maps and they suck. But again, providing a new challenge. And the objective of the game is to keep this rocket silo alive as long as you can. Whilst the enemy team make your bugs, the bugs on your side, stronger, evolve, bigger, make more of them, and create bosses for you to defend against, whilst you do the same to them. The makeup of your team, so if you have a look over here, these nerds on the south and these nerds on the north all have different playstyles. So if I have Whisper in my team, I know I need to handhold him the entire way through the game, as well as reassure him that he's learning and he's getting better. Because he's new, he needs a bit of encouragement. Meanwhile, some of the more professional players in the game, such as Timinator or Clutch, you can just let them go off and do their thing, as they are over here. They've managed to kind of create this outpost, and they'll be working hard to progress as fast as possible into the technology tree, give their team an advantage, to unlock things like flamer towers, unlock things like laser towers, and all of the relevant research that goes along with making them stronger as well. So the game's always different. and it's challenging. Like, it's not an easy game to play. Yes, if you're a beginner, you can add some value to your team, 100%. You could have 10 or 20 hours into Factorio, which is not a lot, and you could be doing something as simple as this. I say this every week, and if you see me in game, and it's been a while since I've played, which is a bit of a shame, but I will get back in. You'll see down here these little stones made out of this raw ore, this stone ore, which is pulled up from this brown patch here, this stone patch. You mix them inside of some furnace with a little bit of coal, and out pops this brick. Bricks later on can be pushed into an assembly machine, which makes walls. You need walls from the moment the game starts to the moment the game ends, and there's a very strong chance that if you don't have enough, your walls will be breached, and you'll have holes in your walls. And as we can see here, at the very beginning of the game, less than an hour in, the defensive structure has been put down, a blueprint has been put down, and it looks to me like they're going to completely forego gun turrets, which are terrible by the way, don't build them, and we're going for flamer turrets, which need to be researched and built. Flamer turrets, and then far ahead of them, a stone wall. And the reason we do this, just whilst I'm here, I know I explain this every week, but just in case anybody needs a refresher, bugs are coming in this direction, right? They're going to be coming, they're going to hit this brick wall. And if I hover over a flamer tower, you can see that there is a radius, a cone-based radius around the flamer turret. And the good news for anybody that is defensively minded is if you recess your flamers behind a wall, it creates a kill zone in front of the wall. You can see here, start hovering over the different ranges, where the bugs will have to fight the wall before they fight your flamer towers, and hopefully die in this kind of fiery area here, whilst attacking the wall. At the beginning of the game, the bugs are super weak. You can shoot them. You really don't need a huge amount of defensive efforts to down them. Later on, they will become enormous, and they will fight your base harder than you can defend your base. So, these defensive structures, like your gun turrets, they really fall out of fashion very quickly. They're super weak, and they don't last very long. And here we go. This is that aggression I was talking about that the main has to kind of face, is that, you're always, until you get those walls up, you're always exposed. In fact, exposed is the best word I could possibly use for this. You're out here on your own, and you're exposed. Gun turrets? Okay. Interesting. Oh, what are we doing out here, though? Are we just chesting a load of resources, or is there something going to happen here? What could you do out? Clutch always has interesting stuff going on, but I don't know if this is like a super useful... Steel's being made, not a huge amount of bricks are being produced, but we have some walls coming up. It could be an adaptation to what they perceive to be a more aggressive setup. Just to keep it running. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I wonder if I can... Oh, I can't edit my... Ah, screw that, I'm not going to change it now. Oh, I can! Hey! Can I make this large? Sorry, I'm just messing around with something in OBS real quick. Oh, that's so much better. There we go. I can make my screen a lot. Oh, I learn something every week about streaming, and I just learned how to prioritize chat popping up. Now I can see your... Oh, excellent. I can finally read your messages on my other screen. They were being slightly hidden. Can I get it? Of course you can, mate, but you're not playing with Whisper, okay? We know who you are, FTNS. It's Clutch's turn to pick anyway. Right. I'm so happy with that. So again, as you can see here, this wall, super cheap. Rocks, they exist all the way through the game. You can, at this point in the game, shoot these bugs down, but later on the flamers firing their napalm onto the top of these things will burn them down very fast as well. Cognitive fun out here with some plays. A couple of like mini outposts. A lot of Assembler 2s down here, so we're looking at some very quick red chip production too. As far as I'm aware, Ling has been really hot on this opening. I like to use it as like a 3-phase, right? Phase 1, get red and green down, right? Just this has to happen. You're not going to have a game if you can't make this happen. Phase 2 for me is steel and military science. And phase 4 getting that refined oil, or at least getting some oil like in play. So it looks to me like they're setting up for red chip production here. And with that, you'll need oil processing. And again, we have a relatively healthy oil patch here, as well as a few next to it too. Whisper is building some kind of an outfit. I mean, it's researching, I guess. I'm very close to Carl. Hey man, have some good sleep. Have some good sleep. The VOD I'll post up online later anyway, so if you want to watch the game back, have a good night's sleep, mate, and then you'll be able to review it once this is all over. That'll go up on Monday though. I'm going off to a wedding after this, but enjoy your sleep, mate. Much needed. So we do see military science going into North's labs, as well as South, I believe, are at the same point. Well backed up on Mill side, which is what you love to see. And as we hit into blue science, as I just quickly check in, concrete, physical projectile damage 1, interesting. A lot of the time you won't go for shooting speed at all. Let's have a look up north. Again, shooting speed, okay. So maybe they're anticipating a slower movement into their flamer turrets? Sideswiped. We'll follow this in. It'll go nowhere. Again, these bugs are small. They're brown shelled, which means they're very weak. But still, they're moving towards infrastructure that you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose anything here. These are all very valuable to you, all of this power infrastructure. And when you've got gun turrets with like 1 magazine in, yeah, that'll do for now. But the 3rd and 4th wave that comes this way, yeah, no bueno. And even in their weakened state, they can bring a tower down to 40 health. Oh, yeah. And again, it's something that the outposters don't deal with, or don't have to deal with as often. But I'm a fan of these like little gun turret flowers. Excuse me. I do like these little gun turret flowers for the beginning of the game. Print walls, there we go. Print walls. And Monkey, what an absolute legend. Monkey has opened the game up with wall production. That's what they said, what do we need? Oh, adverts, why? You know, apparently if you have an ad blocker, YouTube is slow. I don't want to get into like conspiracy theories or anything, but is that true? If you have an ad blocker on your YouTube, then they like slow your connection down, or just generally something slows down. That sounds kind of illegal, I'm not gonna lie. But I read an article, obviously, highly scientific document. Are there any late joiners, or I missed anybody out? Is Adrian not in today? Oh, he's American, I guess, so this will still be early in the morning. Oh, Adrian is in. And Adrian's going to be going north. Yeah, I swear I read something about that. Like, you can get away with it in certain countries with certain restrictions, but I thought it was illegal to mess. Because I know that some ad blockers are illegal, but then some of the things that they do are. So apparently, like, I had one ad blocker on, and they said that if I watch 3 videos, it's an ad blocking bug. Hey man, old man ghosty. I'm feeling it today, holy shit. My dog has been very ill recently. I genuinely, and it won't happen, I know it won't, I thought I'd be burying 2 dogs in 12 months period of time, and that got me really depressed, boys, I'm not gonna lie. He's fine now, but there was a point where I took him to the vet and we had no idea what was going on. The vet had no clue. He was just really sick, and he's very young as well. He's better now, he's on the mend, he's asleep, and he's going to be coming down to us to hyped.video. I'm not clicking that link. But yeah, I went along the lines of like, it was like, if you watch 3 videos, then your account will be banned. But I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I lose all of my personal videos, like I lose all of the weddings I filmed, all of the rugby matches I've been involved with, like all of that just goes because I'm using an ad blocker. That doesn't sound right. Or doesn't sound proportional, you know? You lose 5 cents of advertising money and I lose everything? Nah, bro. I don't know. But I don't have the money to contest them in court, so I'll challenge them to a fight, which I'll win, of course. I'm not known as Big Guns Ghosty for nothing. Oh dear. I do like this though. We haven't seen this too often. And Chrono, nonetheless. Ad skips. Oh, cool, mate. Yeah, in-video adverts suck. I know you have to make your money, but there needs to be a better way of going about doing that, right? I'll agree. I mean, I say to you guys all the time, like, I hate running adverts on this, but once you hit a certain level, you have to run ads. You don't, well, you don't have to, but things become limited for me as a streamer, like having emotes and stuff. If I don't, I run the bare minimum. I don't need any money off of this. I don't want any money off this. This is just something I like to do on my weekend, and I find it fun. You know, hanging out with some of you guys. Many of you are the player base for this game that just can't make it to this one or just want to watch. Ultra AI. Oh my god, can you? That is terrifying though. Let's be honest. Let's just take that point that Skelly Boys made real quick. Just wait until the corpo overlords get their Ultra AI and send you to prison because your eye tracker didn't register you looking at the entire 1 minute advert. That's got to be like the plot to a film. You know, that's some like Minority Report level shit, you know. That's terrifying. Genuine. Corpo overlord. Oh dear. Horrific. You never know though, man. You let things happen. You don't challenge stuff enough. There's potential. I'm certainly not a down the rabbit hole, red pill. Yeah, Black Mirror, that's the thing. But Jesus, if you don't challenge stuff, that's where you end up. You know, if you don't turn around and say, this is bullshit, you know, fight back a little bit. Otherwise, they'll get away with whatever they want, you know. But we do see Black Mirror, what a show. What a show. They're making more, surely, right? Or have they called time on that? Because I vaguely remember somebody saying there was a new series coming out. And if it is, that will make my day. I love that show. I mean, it's terrifying, obviously, but great, great viewing. And in a time where there's a lot of crap films, let's be honest. Like, the length of those episodes and the kind of, what do you call it? The nature, the stuff that they go into, topics that they kind of pose. Fantastic. Slight ramble here, but we're in the mid game now. We're moving into the mid game, so I will keep us in touch with everything that's happening. Oh, cool. Yeah, when it's relevant, right? Talking about Old Man Ghosty, I watched the Rugby World Cup happen this at the end of the summer, and I got, you know, you get in video adverts that's all tailored to you. And I don't know if I should say this or not. I'm not that old, right? I'm certainly not the key demographic for this particular product. I was getting in-video adverts for tenner for men. You know, the incontinence diapers that old men wear. I felt genuinely shocked. I was like, how dare you? They're like, hey, look, man, you fit like the 50-year-old, no, not just like 60, 70-year-old man profile, so we're going to give you Donald Trump diapers. And you know, the worst thing about it is that the advert starts with a fully grown man in a nappy going, leakage. Nobody wants to hear it. It's like, I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to see it. How old do you think I am? Genuinely, it hurt me, mate. My ego can't handle that. You cannot be showing me this shit at my age. I'm in my 30s, mate. I'm not fucking 60. An early 30s, I'll have you know. I'm not fucking anywhere close. So I'm worried, mate. I'm worried. Maybe one of my elderly next door neighbours is stealing my internet. Three ads on my phone again. Some of them, do you know what? When I Neura's in. Oh, cool, awesome. Right, let's get these players in. When it's a charity, I will always watch it, and when it's a product that I use myself, I'll watch it 100%. You know, I believe in it. That stuff. It's when I get like random influencer, you know, here, drink this G Fuel or have Prime or what. Nah, screw that, man. I don't even interact with those products. And every time you show me it, it's just another way, another reasoning that I won't ever buy that product, right? Razer Unlimited Gaming diaper gives you your stats. I don't want to know. That is frightening. Oh, let's take a look at the outpost. Oh. Whispers run. Yeah, he's made it. Yeah, he'll get these guys. And again, in the middle of the game, a grenade will pop these packs a lot easier than just shooting them down. We all know this. I know all of you guys play anyway, but on the odd off chance that there's 1 or 2 new players, and if you are new and this is the first time coming across the stream, welcome. Feel free to ask questions. There's lots of players in the chat already that play this game that can answer, as well as I can kind of zoom into a part of the map and explain what's going on, and help you understand what is a really fun but seemingly complex game mode that is open to beginners as well as seasoned players too. So if you are new, welcome. I think like they miss a trick surely in advertising, right? They miss a trick massively, because there are some things that I think it might be data driven though, right? Like somebody has just turned around and said like, we need to show, you know, these type of products to spur like an extra 5% increase in whatever sales. But if you showed me like game trailers, let's say for instance like there's a new like I don't know, have you guys played Tectonica at all? I bought that recently because it was on sale. But if there was like a trailer showing like a 1-minute review of Tectonica, or like a 1-minute review of Factorio, that could then get people to go and buy the game on Steam, I'd watch that, because it would almost like be like watching a review on YouTube. You know, where you type in like top 20 strategy games instead of these shitty like, you know, zombie kill. I don't know what I don't even play them, mate. I don't even know what they're about. But like these zombie killing games, and there's always like some hot girl that, you know, gets kidnapped and you have to save her, etc. Show me a 1-minute review of something. Show me a 1-minute review of a film, you know, and get a YouTuber who's known, you know, like that Matt Pat guy. I know he's retired obviously now, and that's kind of sad. But, you know, get a reviewer to go, right, this is an advert, but let me tell you about something that's really good that I like. That's something that I'd get behind 100%. Research has slowed down really here in the north. But they're gearing up though. I think this has potential to really explode. I'm still unsure of what Carl's play here is. So do we have any guesses at all? Because potentially he could be going for like a spam. Or could he go for like a defensive outpost? It's not like Carl. It's not like Carl to do this. He's normally a rocket guy. Big red rocket. He does. He likes amassing as many rockets in his pockets as he can. I might nickname him Pocket Rocket Carl from now on. As you can see as well, we have in our game, we have Carl 3, which is the 3rd evolution. You know, like Super Saiyans. He's currently glowing with blue hair at the moment, you know, charging up a Kamehameha. But yeah, it's not like Carl. He is a rocketer. He's a bit of a rocket man. Again, because we see that the South aren't fully walled up yet, but they do have ambition to do so, Just Bob is having to manually defend some of these bugs with Whale Source. We do have a bit of a wall in, which is great, you'd love to see it. But at the same time, yeah, you need to put edges, sides to the wall itself, otherwise you're going to have to deal with this and contend with this. And it comes back down to if you're on your own out here, and again, this has been a really nice little mini outpost. You're going to have to contend with this. And we haven't seen any sends, right? I'm not wrong in assuming we're basically neck and neck here. So yeah, luckily, very luckily for them, this wall production wasn't taken out in the process. These bugs don't look they don't seem more aggressive than normal. And the outposts haven't been hit super hard yet, so. Full lane of steel. Ooh. Okay, yeah, that sucks. And again, here we go. This comes back down to what I was talking about earlier on. You're out here as a small team, right? So you need to get there in time. I mean, this loss isn't huge, really, but let's be honest. Carl lost a full lane of steel. Oh, that Carl has in his build. I wouldn't go for a defensive outpost here, right? He could get away with laser outposting. But Carl's normally like the main character in his team, you know? Yeah, so he's plugging that in. He could be going deep. Do you think Carl, just out of sheer spite and German fortitude, is going to try and get to a rocket on his own? You know? Like, he's just sat there like, I don't want... Actually, my German's terrible. I don't want to take the piss. But, like... These fucking noobs. I'll show them what I can do. Carl's French now, by the way. Changed. It's 2024. You can be what you want. Yeah, maybe he's just bored of all the noobery that he experiences in main games, and he's like, right, that's it. That's it. Now I'll show them my true German power and efficiency. And I believe Carl actually can do that. Be that German, I mean. I don't think he can get a rocket up on his own, but you never know. Strange things have happened. I'd be interested, though. If I'm north, I'd be scouting this out. I'm not entirely sure what Whisper's play is. He's gone for research and not pushed into Millside, which means that the main base is doing the heavy lifting in terms of science, which is fine. They've got their redshift production up and blue is on its way, it looks like. Here we go. Blue's being fed in, so South are ahead, I think. Quite comfortably. Yeah, actually I'd say very comfortably. Probably by about a good 15-20 minute buffer before this starts to pop up. Are they calling power being an issue on South? It is. But that's not an issue, surely. There's more than enough coal here, and here as well, to create a little bit more. And it's because they're ramping up in size. I mean, you've got to think, like, they're slapping down this, and then this power block, and then this power block. Sorry, this production block, sorry, like, it's kind of nuts. I do like the buffering, though. That's something that I need to get into the habit of doing, buffering up green chips. This is, like, underrated for sure. Beyond that, though, blue is not super fast, and they're looking to make more? Really? Seems excessive. You can't fund this, can you? Or can they? Unless they want to start chesting. Okay. The South are being a bit greedy, I feel like. I think they're being slightly greedy here. But never mind, they are ahead, I guess. Let's take a look into their research and see what they're prioritizing. They do now have blue jugs down. And so we're going to take a quick look into the research tree. So they're moving towards stronger fire, moving into batteries. Nothing out of the ordinary here. We're not looking like defenders or distractor type builds. Meanwhile, yeah, the North are going for something slightly different. They might be going on the offense. The bug numbers, as we can see down here, are still very low. So you can imagine that threat farming still could be achieved. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. At the same time, too, if you look at the main opening patch here, you know, to 500, almost 700, 740, a million, 400. I mean, these patches are vast. We're not looking at small amounts. So even the stone patch is over 500, over half a mil. So you can, if you can obviously thread it all back in, and obviously they've kind of stitched in these patches too, you can fund a lot of production. These red, oh, it's power as well. It's kicking their ass. Is anybody working on extra power? Because it's just going to keep going into the wall. How many of these outposts are cheekily stealing power as well? Yeah, one. Yeah, look at it. Yeah, it's all your fault. Two. Oh, Steelers. We found the first. We found it, boys. The South are the first ones to invoke one of the 5 horsemen of the Bite of Battles apocalypse. Stallers, stackers, stealers, gridders, packers, and one more, which eludes me as I speak. Oh, 1 second. Somebody wants to talk to me on Discord. Trust. Oh, I can run the trust command. No one's asked for it though, so I'm not gonna run the trust command. We had a 1v1 yesterday. We did. My dog's very ill, mate. I've been taking him to the vet and back again. So yeah, I've had to down a lot of what I'm doing. And also later today, I'm heading to a wedding as well. So I've had to kind of reorganize my weekend somewhat because of him. I'm worried. I don't think it's a long-term thing, but he's very ill at the moment. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's been over a week as well. And that's the thing that's worrying me is if he's ill, sometimes it's like a day or two, and then he's like better. Gridders and Packers. Yeah, there was a 5th one though. There was a 5th one. But let me go and grab some more music because I think EDM. We're done with EDM for now. So yeah, we're going to Wales later. in the day for a wedding. A good friend of mine has had a kid and has finally proposed. 9 years. It's taken him 9 years to get down on one knee and propose to his missus. Shameful. I wouldn't tell him that. Shameful. So yeah, stackers, stallers, gridders, repair packers, and stealers. And here we go. Look, you got us back on track, Thule or Thule. Thank you for that. The last one, last version of that I said was pretty fruity. I do apologise. Stealing power from Maine, and finally they've managed to put some retribution down on the cards too. Stackers are people that stack in teams. Like over here, this is clearly a stack. You're all fired. I'm reporting all of you to the police for stacking. It's not allowed, especially you, Terminator. You're from Australia. You should know better. Stallers, people that hold on to things and stall the game out. For instance, 20,000 white signs stalling the game out. Absolutely not. Do not stall. Gridders. Do I really want to show you the grid? What's the button for the grid again? Is it F11? No, I don't want to take a screenshot. What's the fucking grid button again? 1 second. Apologies. F4? It's not Alt F4, and I'm certainly not deleting my System 32, so don't pull that one on me, but. Packers, people that put repair packs in bots, don't do that, and I'll explain why later, but just don't. Bots are very expensive, they take ages to get up, and if you put one of the cheapest items in the game, a repair pack, in a robot, and get it killed, I'll judge you forever and ever and ever. I'll put you on the list that I have that's fast. What you have to remember is walls are very cheap. They don't need to be repaired. Got you. Walls are very, very cheap. And so building them and making them early on and stacking up loads of them is a good thing. You need thousands of them because later on they will be challenged. These walls will be battered and broken down. Having a bot that costs a lot of resources, hover over a wall whilst you're being attacked, and then potentially dying because of that, terrible. Don't do that. Be better. No, be better. And the very last one, stealers. Stealers are the ninjas of this game mode, but there's also somewhat griefing too. A ninja is somebody, a stealer, is somebody that will see something in a chest. It doesn't even have to be a high value item, but let's say, for instance, 400 to 500 of these. In fact, let me draw you the journey of a stealer. Let me illustrate this very quickly. Your average stealer will spawn exactly here. And they in their mind, they only came in to steal some stuff, right? This is the stealer's journey. And they use their eyes and they look down this direction and they see a box of stuff. And they think, all of that stuff needs to be in my inventory, right? Because I've got nothing in there at the moment. I'm empty. I need to fill this up with all of the stuff. Let me find a resource, and they'll scan across the map and they'll see chests of green chips and they'll think, that's awesome. I could put all of them in my pockets. And then, they could if they want to, but they shouldn't. And then they'll keep scanning over and they'll go, oh, look, a box of red chips. Yeah, red chips there. I can put them in my pockets. That's awesome. And they'll think, right, let's do that. So they'll come over here and they'll grab all of these green chips. And they'll fill up their inventory with green chips. And then they'll fill up their inventory with red chips. And they'll think, right, I'm almost ready to play the game. I'm almost ready. What can I finish filling my inventory up? Walls. Excellent, right? Because I'm a bit of a brick wall, right? I'm about as thick as a brick wall. I'm going to grab every single one of these and I'm sticking them in my pockets. And what am I going to do next? Where do we go, right, boys? We've got high value items in our pockets as a new player. We've stripped all of the green buffer that's taken half an hour to build. We probably red belted part of it because we're legends. And then we've gotten the last remaining wall setup that possibly exists on the map. And do you know where those nutters go? They fucking run here and here. And they die somewhere around here. And then they disconnect. And an hour's worth of production on key components that your base need right now and in the next half an hour need that stuff right now is thrown deep into enemy territory and will never be recovered. And that is why stealers are worse than the Nazis. If I see you do it, you'll go on a list. I will be calling the police and reporting you for cyber terrorism. Don't do that. You can do whatever you want. Anything. You can do whatever you want in life. Don't be a stealer. Terrible. So yeah, that's a slightly more egregious explanation of it, but you get my point. Is these stuff, all of this is going into a box for a reason. The reason why we're not grabbing science off of the line and throwing it is because it's better to leave it there. Let it stack up. And sometimes stealers go unnoticed. So you've got to kind of keep on your toes here. Like I like all of these people being in the game. Just think about this. It's Saturday afternoon for me, Saturday morning for some of the Americans, Saturday night or even Sunday morning for some of the Australians. But we have 42 people here playing, 44, sorry, people playing here all together. We've got a load of people watching as well on Twitch. And I know most of these players are strong players and they have their own play styles and their own way of being in the game. However, if a new person comes in, midday Saturday, yeah, same. Let's say, for instance, I've never seen Koyito before, and they come into my game, and I see them heading for my chest. I just get a little bit twitchy, that's all. Because this is really useful, and we need this later on. We need all of it. In fact, we need more of it. We need tons more of it. So, yeah, if you don't know what to do, just, back it off. In fact, the way that I explain it is if you didn't make it, you shouldn't take it. If you didn't make the production line, if you weren't sticking down these belts and, creating the smelter that it went into, and then obviously all of this, if you weren't here for any of this, then this isn't, on the cards for you. Leave it alone. Go and do something else. You needed power, didn't you, 5 minutes ago? Have they managed to fix that? Maybe build some more. Maybe say, do you know what? This is nice, but this is even nicer. Double it up. Triple it if you can. So yeah, slight rant there. I do apologise for absolutely nothing. The undefeated captain of the Captain's Game series does what he likes. And I will be playing this year as well. I will be playing. Who wins? Oh, we can do a prediction, actually. Yeah, let's do it. You guys down for a prediction? Let me show you the map first. Let me show you the map, and then we'll do a prediction. And what I'll do is I'll put like a 20 to 30 minute timer on it, so you don't have to vote straight away. And we'll start with the north. Out to the east, we have a very strong selection of players here. The Captain, Clutch, Timinator, Bitsorio, Eagle, and Roomboggler. And I believe there was one more. I might be wrong, but I think there is one more with these guys. Are creating an outpost. And at the moment, they are looking relatively likely to be the first on the map. Although power is quite low to kind of hit the robot portion of the game. Again, bots. Very nice to see. However, they are not researching, so they're leaving research to the main base. Don't do that. I'm not going to vote, but it's a warning for sure. You don't send science. Cool. Alright, the reason why you don't send is it doesn't really affect the game in this game mode, and you need that science on the belt. I know it sounds kind of super duper obvious, but you want it backed up so you don't have to build it twice. If you get into the later portion of the game, and since I haven't really gone through this week, I may as well. Whenever you send science, you'll see it, bounce the mutagen up a little bit. Here there's been a 6-point increase to the jump and evolution, and it's created more threat. Those military jugs are best left alone. Again, it goes back down to, and we were literally just talking about this. Stealers, people that see stuff on belts and go, I can take that. Those 158 jugs take a while to build. Leave them on the belt. Trust me, it's better than being here than throwing them across to the enemy side. As you can see, green is like the lowest tier science, and then we move up to green, into military, into chemical, production, utility, and space. When you get to purple, yellow, and white, there is an argument, instead of researching, because it does a larger jump of evolution and a larger threat jump, to send large amounts of these. But just generally speaking, if you're a new player, unless somebody's told you to do this, like spam green, spam red, spam military, build it, but let it work for you, right? This is a resource that your team needs more than the opposition team needs. So if we take a look in the research queue, We're looking at prod modules and modules in general for the south. Love to see it. Oh, can you guys hear the music, by the way? I've turned it into like a really quiet. Then worker robot speed, stacker insert, capacity. So yeah, we're still in that early phase of music's fine, awesome, good stuff. Yeah, we're in that early phase still. And we can see here, fantastic. A little wall pattern's gone down, and a very thick wall, complemented by flamers with light oil, which does a lot more damage, is going down on the south. I don't believe they have bots up just yet. I might be wrong, but I don't see robots flying around, or Logibots flying around in the south. They're slightly behind the north outpost. But let me kind of, before we had that send, let me scroll across to the north again. So power block is going down in Maine. They do have advanced oil being processed, batteries to be created, blue science is coming through. The labs do have the opening for sciences. I don't think you'd be that bad at the game, dude. Honestly, it's what I'll do is one of these days, today, tomorrow's a done day for me. I'm at a wedding, but one of the days next week, give me a shout when you're free, or even during the weekend, and I'll get you into a Bite Battles game, and we'll build a base together. And if there's anybody here watching that wants to play as well, I'm happy to kind of take some newer players through, because this looks complicated, and there are lots of like maths that's gone into the ratios and stuff, but the bare minimum how to start this off is really easy, and it's really rewarding when you watch it all come together. So yeah, Maine looking a little bit anemic. I believe they're going to get to a certain level. Malta, ooh, very nice. Holiday, hopefully. Not sadly, dude. It'd be much better than where I'm at. They have a thin defensive line with some flamers shooting out crude oil. Anyways, better than where I am at the moment. It's just cold. Large power blocks down, as well as a minor outpost out here by Hobermallow. And I'm not sure what this guy's up to right now, but yeah, something's happening up here. Meanwhile, in the south, we have Krax is helping Carl's outpost. Okay, this is kind of huge. Carl's outpost is on its way, and we all know how strong Carl is. Carl number 3, by the way, the third iteration of Carl. Oh, that's okay, mate. At some point, we'll get you into a game, and we can have a chat and walk through what you do. -8. Oh, that's nasty, mate. We had -5 a couple nights ago, and that was terrible. I had my dog and my cat in bed with me. They just couldn't handle being out outside. So yeah, a relatively large outpost, matched by another actually. Whisper's down here doing his own thing, looking to create some endgame items. So Whisper's pushing here. Whisper's really going for it. I like the south. Maine is busy as well. Everybody's got a job to do. And yeah, let me set that prediction up. And then there's nothing going on in the east, apart from Cognitive, who every now and again does. Yes, there will. Oh, we have a 1v1 tournament. You were right. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So next week, we have a 1v1 tournament for cash. There will be a winner, and the winner will earn a couple €100 as well as some cryptocurrency as well. Very good point. So what I might do a Friday. I don't know if you guys would be down for a Friday captain's game? Friday night? You know, get a pizza in, get some beers. Non-alcoholic beverages are available, obviously. But you know, get a pizza in, get some beers in, and do a captain. Oh, I might play that one. First game of the year, boys. I think I'm going to play. Do I captain? Should I captain? It's kind of a done deal if I do. Let's be honest. Right, let me get this prediction up. So it's going to be really simple. North or south? Here we go. Predictions. Start my prediction up. All right, I'm going to give you more than 30 seconds. I'm going to give you 20 minutes to vote on this. So don't throw in straight away. You've got some time now to see how they develop. -30, that is grim. Yeah, I can be at night times. I'm working during the day, but my nights are free. And at the moment, my missus is working night shifts. I do see her every now and again, but it's just one of those times where she's working non-stop. I'm working non-stop as well. So probably like, I want to say 6-7 o'clock PM my time. I think that's like an hour behind you guys, European time. I'll be down, 100%. Oh yeah, I'm casting it, aren't I? I'd love to enter. This is the problem is that clearly if I was to enter, I'd win, and that's not, obviously stay humble. Hashtag stay humble. It wouldn't be fun for any of the participants. I know Raslington won last time, and the anti-elites won before then. But genuinely speaking, had I been in, I think they would have just quit. My speed and my skill is unmatched at this game, and it's why it's not fair for me to play it. There will be a point. Teach my dumbass to play Factorio. Yeah, dude. I'll show you what's up. And we won't go into the deep levels, and we won't go into like getting lasers and stuff like that. We'll just start off by smelting. Ness, I mean, those are fighting words, but I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. But that said, I like to cast games as well. It's interesting because I do play this game a lot. I've got a 100% winning record as a captain. I tend to win a lot of the games I do play naturally because I do the really shit jobs that nobody really wants to do. But that said, I've really enjoyed casting and streaming. I didn't think I would. I initially thought I'd only be doing this for like a week or two, and we've been pretty consistent every week, just getting involved, streaming a game, watching it play out. There's always, mistakes that are made and, difficult periods where you sat there going, oh, I can't believe they didn't, increase power. I can't believe they didn't do X, Y, and Z. I've really enjoyed it. So half the infighting, anti-elites, and Nephrim sat. Yeah, BPL, I burnt out on the BPL, mate. I needed a break. That was next level. Like, it was really fun and really enjoyable, but yeah, burned me out. But yeah, they do have some flamers up in North. Let's check in on this hold. People thinking North are going to win this. Okay, 770 to 310. If North do win, it's from here. I think this outpost is stacked. They've got some really strong players here. And Clutch is gone. Oh, okay. I finally see where Clutch is going with this. And I've got to be honest, I like this. Let's take a look at the research. Let's see if it's... Right, lasers going down, then mods, some shooting speed, which will aid the defenders. Portable solar. Right. One voter on each side. Hey, man, you could make the difference. Again, the spooky points or ghosty points or whatever, like, I need to figure out a way to give out more of them. But I like this outpost, though. Again, what we need to watch out for here is aggressive attacks into this. We don't want to be watching this get taken out. Although, as we do see, they have upgraded the bot speed as well. Oh yeah, they got rid of gambling points, didn't they? In certain European countries, they've completely banned that gambling side of things. It's fair enough, though, I think. Verborden in Sweden. Ah, mate, that sucks. If you could, who would you go for? Who? I'm not going to try and get around that. I'm just saying, if you could stick 100 points on a team, where would you go? South look more defended. Monkey Lol here is literally sticking this down hand by hand. I'm a big fan of this. This is the kind of thing I do. Before we even have bots, I am the bot. I play like a bot. But it needs to be done. Oh, you've already voted, I see. A rebel. I'm a rebel just for kicks now. Oh, let me quickly do this. I haven't run this in a while, so there might be somebody sat on the side not realising they can get in. My bad, Hokuto and Open Drain. I should have probably chucked this out earlier. But we'll get you in. We'll get you in for sure. Okay. I don't get the breakdown until the vote is over, and then I'll be able to see who's stuck in. If somebody's stuck in 420.69 points, you get an extra point. Alright, let's take a scan. Take a quick scan around. Cracks. Normally we're doing a defensive outpost. I know it's a weird one, isn't it? Like, I agree. You don't want to be introducing gambling to people that are young. Like, there's no point. Kids get addicted to stuff super fast. And the last thing you want to do is have a kid at a very young age get, like, really into gambling, right? That's definitely no bueno. Is getting any? Yeah, no, but I mean, like, it sounds kids are impressionable, so you don't want to introduce them to something like that at an early age. It's just only bad things can happen. You know, they get to like 20, 21, and they're down the bookies all the time or scratch carding, and I've had friends of mine go that way, and difficult way to make it back. Meanwhile, a radar is being absolutely ravaged. Luckily, Carl 3 is right next door with a grenade on hand and some bullets too to thwart that attack. But you can imagine, had those bugs torn this apart or even start to break up some of these lines. Playlist, I can indeed. Let's take a look. In the north, we have Gabriel, Forud, Smiling Nasa, Botstended. I don't need to say that correctly. Neuro, Hokuto, Rumbogler, Eagle, Space Dog, Vodeka, Clutch, Hobermallow, Ruid, Bitsorio, Tomato Requiem, haven't seen him in a while, Amelek, Timinator, Marek the Trader, Everlord, Banana, Chrono Dreggy. Is North stacked? When did this happen? Tell me that's not a strong team. Neuro, Space Dog, Fordeka, Hokuto, Smiling Nasa, Rumbogler, Eagle, Clutch. That's FTNS, obviously. Bits, Everlord, Banana, Chrono, Timinator? That's wild. How has that happened? Timin's so strong. Okay, right. North, kind of sleeper OP here. All right, South. Let's give some love to South. All right, because South have got some like really strong players. Ling, Carl, Soldier, Cog, really strong. Triller Ben, when he's not fighting his own team, strong player. Whisper strong, Fire strong, Guido Cramp, strong main player. Vortex, Jerry, strong. Bob strong. I don't know who this guy is, so I don't want to kind of make a... Flower Flipper strong, Friendly strong, Ragnar strong, Zer very strong. New, strong. Open Drain. So yeah, it's kind of... I think North have like 2 or 3 more. But they're also threat farming too. And I'll go through this, by the way. Anybody has any questions about what's happening up here, feel free to ask, because I love explaining what Clutch is currently doing. I need to host this game earlier. Is a 1 o'clock start better than a 4 o'clock start? Because we've got some incredibly strong players in this game. Maybe morning in America is better. I like that. Okay, right. We see really solid defenses going down as well. I love to see this. Meanwhile, Whisper's going for the endgame builds already at 1 hour and 30? I don't know though, mate. I don't know. My main contention, I think, would have to be... Yeah, let me just quickly pull up my my MS Paint tools real quick. I like the fact that they've got this enormous wall up, right? That's huge. And again, attacks will always come directly on top. Oh. Yeah, North does look a little heavier. Not by tons, though. I would say by kilos. You know, I think they've got like an extra 70 kilos advantage, weight advantage. Attacks are going to come this way for sure. But Whisper's mix builds down here are in their line of fire. As is Cognitive's base, actually. If we look at things that are vulnerable right now, we can just quickly circle them in white. This is vulnerable. This is vulnerable. And again, what you don't want to do... Oh, sorry, let me zoom out real quick. It is, this is my main issue, is that you don't want a base where the front line goes all the way out here. At some point, you need to kind of cut it off and keep that box small. You know, you want a small defensive box. You know, you want to be defending this and not this. Because if you look at the red box, you're almost like adding a 2/3 extra amount of area that you're defending. Meanwhile, though, South are kind of doing something similar. Oh, South are doing something kind of similar. There's a long frontal thrust. And again, we've seen this time and time again. Bugs will come this way. They will also come this way. And we may see, if they don't get their sides... Oh, what happened? Sorry, whilst I've been illustrating, something's happened. Sorry, did you guys catch that at all? Whispers just said something's... Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought somebody agreed then. It's one of the unfortunate bits of streaming and being a referee is that sometimes you miss the odd thing. I like this pattern though. As we were talking about earlier on, you have a kill lane here. Oh god, I love MS Paint. Let's do it again. Bugs want to come in. I know all of you know this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So yeah, the bugs coming in. When you have wall structures like this, the bugs AI need to make choices about where they go. And so what they do is they kind of pile in. Just use a straight line for now. They pile in this way, and they kind of rebound and start to kind of get mixed up and broken up. All the while, fire is kind of raining down onto them from the flame turrets. And so they get caught in this kind of kill zone where they get DPS down as they're making it towards. And interestingly enough, like these little H shapes that we can see here, they don't normally get attacked. The bugs can kind of find a way through, or try and find a way through, because they want to be going directly. Let me zoom out real quick. They want to be going directly to the main objective, right? So if there's a gap in a wall, they tend to take that gap. They don't create it in... Oh, Pipes is in. Awesome. Okay, right. Enable late pickers. And I believe it's the South's turn for first pick. International love. Excellent. And we have a lot of people coming in now. Are we gonna... We're gonna crest the 50 player thing. We are. We're gonna hit 50 players. On a Saturday afternoon? I'll take it. That's a really good sign. Maybe we should play a little bit earlier for everyone. Give us equal and you can have Piper. Mid-game trades. Okay, I think that's everybody that wanted to be in. Pipes has gone south. And north, we've got you one more. 26-24, we've got 50 players in game. Okay, awesome. That's a really good look. 26 up north. They've got two more. This looks like an abomination, but Hokuto normally knows what he's doing, so we'll kind of run with it. People are making use out of these mixed builds more and more often in these games now, so yeah, I think this could be something. It could be something. Let's take a look. We've built on the North Outpost 274 bots. That's pretty formidable at the time that we're currently sat at. We're at 1 hour and 30. We have more smelting going down. Labs are interestingly placed. Oil cracking's working really well. Where are we going after this? I know that they've got their defender set up here as well. I really like this play from Clutch. I really do. If I was on North. Ah, so Whisper's the man. Whisper's the man with a plan. Okay. So it looks to me, welcome back, it looks to me like Carl is playing support to Whisper's base. Laser outpost, there we go. Okay. And then he'll be providing Whisper with prod modules later, potentially speed modules. Carl on power. Oh, damn. Have we unlocked? Have we unlocked? I don't want to... Should I say it? I don't really want to say it. Have we turned Carl into a support player? Has my constant berating of him holding, stalling, has he turned into the ultimate support player? And Whisper's taken over as the main... He's like the striker on the team. On the football team, not soccer. I'll never call it soccer. Your foot literally kicks a ball. It's that simple. Like, you just kick... Anyway, I've never seen Carl play support before. But here we have Carl playing support. And doing a good job, by the way. This is really strong. To have this up as fast as this. Or maybe he's just bored of main base dying super early. 4 more followers. What for? Oh, we hit a milestone. 4 more to... How many do I have at the moment? Shit, I don't even know how many I've got. How many do I have? 100? 150, right? Oh, shit. Do I? I don't want to be that guy though, right? I don't. If you like what you see, feel free to follow. I really do appreciate it. But don't feel like you have to. But I do appreciate it. What it does is that it shows my channel off to similarly sized other channels that like the same kind of game. And as we've seen over the course of the streams, we have picked up players that eventually just play. You know, they'll look at, they like what they see. They'll ask a few questions and they'll go and play. So if you haven't given us a follow, I mean, feel free to. I'm not going to ask you to, but if you'd like to, I would welcome it. It's all about algorithms and, yeah, all that stuff. I don't know. But we're close to 200. So, yeah, you know, that'd be kind of cool. That's a bit of a milestone. I was hoping North Outposts. Research is spotty, though. They don't... Like, green seems to be an issue here, as well as mill. They are researching. And obviously they have these incredibly long columns that will convert later into those endgame items. But increasing oil supply. I think Whisper beats these guys. There's a lot of strong players up here, right? And maybe their numbers will be the advantage. In fact, the numbers probably will be an advantage. But actually, Runebog is super fast as well. Do these players here, Bits, Eagle, Clutch, Bogler, Timinator, can they... Okay. Press F to pay respect. Somebody just splooged a lot of iron plates. Glad I caught that. Friendly Fire. Friendly Fire's no joke. He used to be number 1 in the server. Carl is close to... He's going nukes. I'm so confused. I want this. I believe in the South. I want them to do it. But I don't know. I want them to do it. They're so close. But it's just one person with no bots. Meanwhile, up here, I mean, they have their... I mean, it's not switched on yet, but they do have their endgame builds. And we're seeing now, you know, stacking up of red chips. With bots helping too. That's incredible. North's defenses are limited. They are, I know it sounds a bit obvious to say, but they're susceptible to ascend. I wouldn't send now, but they are susceptible to it. So for instance, if the South had like 200 to 300 purple, I think that they could rock the North. And again, I know I say this often enough, but you guys know this from every week. These attacks are fine. These attacks are not. And we all know that this happens often. You know, they come in from the sides so often that it doesn't take much to get around these corners. So, yeah, around about this time of the game as well is probably when you want to start looking at closing your base off. And if conversely, we see here even the farthest reaches of base, we have what looks to me like a chest that will be sticking walls inside, so that the bots don't have to fly too far. But the North have the threat advantage as well. Oh. The North have threat farming. And that's not good luck. So yeah, South's main and outposts are close enough to defend each other. I don't like the length of this front line, but fine, whatever. You know, it'll do. It's awkward. That's what it is. It's awkward. It's not unplayable, but it's awkward. The North's outpost isn't defended at all, and we have to keep that in mind. If the bugs are aggressive, like people have been saying that they are, or more aggressive towards outposters, this is something that we need to keep in mind. I haven't seen any laser production here. I don't see any solid defensive production other than the fact that they have defenders being made above. Research is slowing down to a stop. But their main power block's massive. Neuro's really squared away power in that respect. Meanwhile, they're not equal. I'll put it like that. They're not equal, but I hadn't seen any. I've been scanning around. I mean, this is good. I guess, you know, obviously once it switches on and once it can be funded and fueled. Oh, we do have some. Here we go. Which is probably why Nura has gone hard into power. So we do have a couple of these mixed builds that are churning out some really solid lasers, to be fair. Yeah, 7 to 10 Monday, Friday. I'll be online playing some games. So depending on which game it is, I'm probably gonna, if we have a 1v1 tournament, and I'll ask on Discord as well. If we have a 1v1 tournament on Saturday, Sunday, I might stream the captain's game on Friday and do like a Friday night game. That'd be kind of cool. And the lasers aren't upgraded as well on North yet. Meanwhile on South, I don't believe we'll see any put down, but I do believe that we have some. In fact, I don't believe I know. Here we go. Carl's done a really good job here. Wrestlington, thank you for the raid. I hope you had a good stream, mate. I hope you had a good stream. And I hope you're having a good weekend as well, mate. Thank you very much. I was just literally saying to my chat that I'm 4 followers away from 200, which is wild, absolutely wild. I'm not going to ask you guys to follow, but I've only been doing this for like less than a year, and to get to that point, yeah, I'm super happy. I hope you're looking forward to the 1v1 tournament next week as well. So for anybody that doesn't know, we will be hosting a 1v1 tournament, and there's some good money on the table for that too. So look forward to that next weekend, starting on Saturday, and the finals will be on Sunday. And to all of the new people joining us, this is Biter Battles. Welcome, my name's Ghosty. I'm currently the referee and undisputed champion of this game mode. Constant quality issues. Ooh, okay. Is that in stream or would that be in the game? Like performance issues, or... Because I know there was a patch recently, and every now and again, obviously when things get patched, things break as well, so... everything's been okay, touch wood, obviously. Everything's been good here so far. But game performance will drop later, when we see the really large sends happen. And I believe that we do have a rocket outpost here. So we will see some performance issues down the line, but so far so good on our end. Yeah, it's been an interesting game. We finally see Carl not going for a rocket, which is just, I've never seen this before in my life. Carl's gone for like an entirely supported build with lasers, as well as some nuclear building as well. So you love to see that. Beyond that, it's Whisper that looks like he's going to be carrying the game. Whisper's been selflessly just building up these mixed builders. 144p, my mic gets like potato level. I've never tried it. I don't. The game is, yeah, this will be a while, I think. We're about the 1 hour and 40 minutes in ish. This will probably go to about 3. I'd imagine 3.5. Neither team are making incredibly poor choices, apart from like the North aren't really defending themselves. But that's because they've been threat farming. So you can imagine that down the line, the North will close their base up. I've never been at 144p on my own stream. I kind of don't want to. I think I'd just like jinx myself out of it. Yeah, I mean it's going to be lower, probably lower quality, etc. But so yeah, this will go on until about the 3-hour mark, unless a team makes a massive mistake, or, and I say this often enough, and I apologize for anybody that's new, but I do like to draw on my screen often. If we see the bugs make a run at the outpost, and they will path. For any of you that's new that doesn't know about this game mode, the reason we're here is to protect this rocket silo. Both sides have one. This is our main defensive idea, is we have to kind of build a base around this and keep this alive whilst the bugs get stronger and we fight them off. The normal path for the bugs will be from this kind of area down towards main bases. They also path towards other bases that are on the sides as well. And so if an outpost gets run down, run over, or for instance, a large amount of this gets attacked and knocked out, that could be game ending for some people. The silo is functionable. You can actually launch a rocket out of it. And we do see in some games, not all, But some games, you'll actually have a rocket being built in the main base, as well as on these outposts as well. So it's not common, but it's also not. I've seen it happen like 1 every 5 games. That's mostly down to the fact that you have these enormous ore patches at the beginning of the game in your main base. But to build a rocket, a lot of the time, you need egregiously large amounts of copper. That tends to be like, if you see somebody running into an open area, for instance, to make an outpost base, you're going to need millions and millions of copper ore to fund it, as well as iron, stone, and coal. But copper is kind of the main determining factor. It's what you're looking for. And as we can see here, I mean, they've done really well on this northern outpost. I need to. I've been a bit sidetracked. So my dog, any of you dog owners out there might know this. My dog's really ill at the moment, and I have had no time to myself the last couple of days. It's been ping-ponging between giving him medicine, taking him to the vet, and hoping that he's going to get better. So I haven't had time to add donations. Plus, you don't need to donate to me, mate. I like streaming for the fun of it. Like, I'm not here to make money off of it. So I'm just happy that you guys are here. And what I have in my life at the moment is a very cold weekend. I feel offended. Hold on to your money, mate. Hold on to your money. There'll be a point down the line where I'll enable all that stuff. I don't even like running adverts, to be honest. Mostly because I just don't need. Bots are available. They are indeed. We have some in the north. It does take a while to get to this point, though. So these guys have been effectively speed running like a secondary base off to the side. They've been speedrunning like a secondary base, and this is a group of very high skill players. I mean, you might know some of these guys, but if you don't, Clutch, Eagle, Rimboggler, I don't know who this guy is. Okay, yeah, we need to be careful about having people join these outposts, because they can kind of grief. And the last thing you want is a new player griefing what is effectively a really efficiently run, highly organized setup. These guys are looking to get to a rocket. They're not miles away from it. Obviously, research needs to kick in. So they're going for their nuclear researches as well as some of the... Oh, mate, yeah, you can join. Anybody of you watching, by the way, this is a live game. There are 23 players on North and 22 on South. We hit the 50-player cap. But if you want to come and join, feel free. In fact, let me show you how to join really quickly. I'm the referee here, but it's fine if I leave for a second. Head to multiplayer. Bonsoir, ça va bien? Go to Browse Public Games. I've got it saved in my little icon up here. But if you head over to freebytebattles.org, again, it's free to play, and then just hit join game. Nice to have you with us, mate. Hopefully you're keeping warm. It is minus, well, it was this morning -5 today, so I was scraping up. But for any of you that want to come in and play this game, this is how you get in. From there, you'll be given a little button on your screen. Sorry, my voice is going. You'll have a little button on the screen that will say, would you like to join? You click on that. I'll see you pop into this area, which is kind of like the prospective players that wants to join. And we'll get you in. And again, this is at this point in the game, there's still loads of stuff that you can do. There's still loads of ways you can influence the game. So if you like to, you don't have to, but I can get you in. 2.0. Alright, Funky Man 727, 723. Me Gamer is coming in as well. Just as we wait, we can see the bugs attacking up here, getting flamed down. And this is what you like to see, these static defenses taking care of business, not messing around. For anybody new, you need to have really solid defenses in the end game. The bugs get so large and so strong that they will walk through even strong defenses. We're not messing around here. When things go loud, it goes really, really loud here. So South top. That doesn't make any sense. South top. Crack's probably doing a laser outpost, I'd imagine. And yeah, the defense, the thrust, the thrust here is Carl is going to be helping the South power up. He's then building lasers as well that will help defend, and we can see here a couple of hundred lasers on board. You need a lot of physical power to have all of the lasers firing all at once, and they will go typically. You've got your. I love doing this. Sorry, I apologize if I'm overusing this tool, but I love it. So obviously you've got your row of flamers here. Ahead of that, you have your defensive structure in your walls and in the pattern that you have in front of your walls, like here. And then directly in between, sandwiched, there should be rows and rows and rows of lasers that are then powered up. And there you have your 3 levels of defense, right? So level 1 is your walls, your physical static defense, and the bugs will crash into them. Level 2 are your lasers, which are, hopefully DPSing them down as they're kind of chunking through your walls. All the while, you've got this kind of DPS zone where the bugs are in and around this area getting absolutely splatted with fire, with laser power. Later on, we'll have capsules on our players as well, and they'll be able to kind of throw poison capsules and slow them down, etc. Let's see. Here we go, poison capsules and slow capsules, as well as defenders fighting off the bugs. At the moment, they're very weak. We're talking about, you could fight them 1v1 with a good gun and some good armor. Later on, you're going to need personal weapons as well as all of this static defenses. So yeah, the game gets wild. As we can see up here, Clutch is using defenders to fight the bugs back. We call this threat farming. And Timon, Timon, you can come. What he's doing is he's effectively manipulating the amount of bugs on the pitch, or on the map. Sorry, say pitch. I play too many sports. And knocking the number down into a negative. If the bug number is in negative, they become passive. They're not going to come and fight you and attack you. The reason Clutch is doing this because his outpost is undefended. You can join if you like, Christy. It's not that hard to get involved. Remember, we have a voice chat in our Discord, and if you join the voice channel, the captain of either side will give you a role and something to do, and they'll know if you're new. Or what you can do is continue watching and ask questions, because I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have about this game mode. Like I said, I'm easily, on a bad day, I'm easily top 5 in this, but I am the undisputed champion of Captain's Mode, and that's why I host it. It wouldn't be fair if I was to play. And obviously, if any of you can tell that I'm not joking, I absolutely am. So you need to have a positive number for the bugs to become aggressive, and for the bugs to do things like this, to group up and to begin to run at you. And here we can see some pink-shelled bugs. They are evolving, so they've gone from brown shell being small, pink being medium. Later on in the game, as their evolution gets higher, they'll go from pink to blue, and then blue to behemoth, which are green shells, and later we'll see bosses with actual HP bars above their heads. So this gets pretty wild, these guys are easy to kill now. Later, we're going to be panicking Skywalker. As you can see, the south, because they're in a positive number, at any given time, 1,800 of these bugs will come crashing into the defenses. And again, if these defenses weren't here, you'd be losing all of this infrastructure, all of this smelting. The bugs would just be ravaging it. So you need to create a barrier, and this, at the moment, is a very effective barrier. So let me just see if anybody jumped in real quick. I don't think that we do have anybody else kicking around. Dr. Claw may come in and play. No, that's it, okay. Meanwhile, in the north, it's a little bit more anemic. They are creating an edge, although this production doesn't... This isn't good. They are creating an edge to the wall. The way that you could help as a new player in this game would be to grab, for instance here, you can see there's like a solid item that's been placed, and there's like a ghosted item here. One of the best things you can do as a new player is pick up like maybe 10 or 15 of these flame turrets, for instance, and then hand place these flame turrets so that you're doubling, the defenses that you have in place. I wouldn't take on a big task. I wouldn't take on building power, for instance. I'd let somebody else do that, but the guys in the voice chat in Discord are all really friendly, and they'll be able to help guide you towards, kind of an area that can... you don't have a mic. Typing can be done? Or just join and just type to them and say, look, I'm a new player, what can I do? And what a lot of them will say is that power is a good one because you can just fill in blueprints, or getting more resources, or just filling in defensive blueprints like this. Yeah, it's always worth keeping an ear in all chat, definitely, because the overall strategy, the overall kind of idea of how the game should go will be being spoken about. And as I say that, I need to get some I need to get a jumper on because it's freezing. Right, back in a sec, guys. Much better. Much, much better. Some neighbours of mine started making dig sites. They're doing construction work on the weekend? Okay. I mean, that's kind of antisocial. Although, I mean, if it's repair stuff, fine. But if they're building something on a weekend, isn't that kind of like against most? I mean, if they're in a neighborhood, sorry, isn't that like not allowed? I don't know. I'm not really in construction, but I swear there are rules against not having construction in like civilian areas during the weekend because kids and pets and stuff like that, and safety as well. Putting furniture down. Ah, okay. So as we can see here, the north looking pretty strong. Everything but yellow science is flooding into the labs now, although there is not an abundance of blue at the moment. Corruption in Romania. That's not unbelievable. I have heard things. Although I'm going to try and make sure that I stay as apolitical as possible on this channel. Saturdays and Sundays. I mean, you must get extra money for that, right? Overtime. So we have very bare, if in fact none, really. No defences on these kind of edges of North's Main. And again, we were talking earlier on about having a really like large, conflated front line. Your defensive box normally, typically, needs to surround everything that's within your base. But if we look at kind of main, another box out. You could potentially get away with something this size. You'll need to be picked into a team first. The way that it works is that you jump into the game mode itself. You'll end up sitting on this little island here. I'll then be able to sort you into a team, and then from there you'll have to kind of jump into a team. And then you can type into chat here. If you hit the little tilde button on your keyboard, which is just above your tab, you'll be able to talk to people. Tilde, yeah, that one. So when you're in game, if you hit that, you can type and talk to people, and you'll be able to talk to your team. So you could jump in, swap you onto a team, and then from there you'll be able to get into the voice channel and just say, hey guys, type in game, hey guys, I have no mic, but I'm in the voice channel. How can I help? I kid you not, within about a minute, you'll get a response. They might already be talking about stuff, so don't feel like they'll get straight back to you. The thing I would avoid pulling up, don't right-click power poles because they're really important. You might disconnect something. But both teams are in really strong positions. As we can see now, we've got a bit of yellow, we've got a bit of purple. So the South are really, really strong at the moment in terms of their research. And I'll keep an eye on you just in case you destroy it. Oh, well, I'll have to ban you if you start destroying stuff, dude. This is really good, though. I really like this. And then we'll dive into the research queue to see what either side are prioritizing. Rocket fuel, and then your standard shooting upgrades. It's kind of random, to be honest. Although, if we have another player joining who's also new, as long as you guys are happy, I can kind of, if you want to go up and they go down, as long as you agree with each other, the last thing I want to do is sort a really strong player into an already strong team. We do have both sides with strengths, but I would argue that North are slightly over the edge, mostly because of people like Neuro, Rumbogler, Nasser, Fordeka, Clutch, Timinator, Banana, Everlord. These guys are all really strong, as well as Amalek and Tomato and all these guys, but generally speaking, that's a really good handful of strong players. Equally so, though, South have Carl, Yeah, it's even. Yeah, just tell me which team you want to go on, and I'll throw you up and down. Because you're new, I want to say. Or is Pentabo an absolute legend who's going to like win the game single-handedly? This is the most current version. I know that a lot of the speedrunners and stuff like to play on older or different versions, but whatever the most current patched version of Factorio is, that's what we're on at the moment. Whoa. And I might change the music up. Although, do you know what? Funky jazz. Kind of like it. The last stable. Yes, that's correct. He's a legend. So yeah. I wonder what happened to OG Ghosty as a child. Yeah, ads. You can't get into my mind, mate. But I can ban you from the game. Oh yeah, speedrunners use the latest experimental version. They're claiming power is a bit dodgy on South, and they're not wrong. They are not wrong. Some of their power plants are not even receiving coal, and that's not going to kick itself back in. However, I mean, we're powering up, so hopefully they're not going to stay in yellow power for too long. It's Carl's nuclear build, and this is really impressive. The speed at which this has come up. A 2-hour nuke, nothing to sniff at all. And as we can see, the power is climbing. We'll get to 900 plus, and it'll all kick itself back in. But a 2 generator, and obviously this is an enormous nuclear field that will eventually turn itself completely on, should, in theory, again, should power up all of these lasers that we see blueprinted down for the defense of South. So defensively, I prefer to be on South. I like the fact that they have all the research kicking in as well. We're not looking at a starved base, which just has defenses. We are fully steaming ahead with our research. Coincidentally, up north, again, there are things protruding through our defenses. This is not comfortable for me. All it would take is for a couple of bugs to walk through this gap. Destroy everything in its way, but walk through the gap and they're in. So I'm not exactly sure what the plan is out here. But, okay, here we go. Yeah, so they're going to try and wall it off in a kind of separate. But again, all you're doing is prolonging and extending that front line. That being said, though, the nuke is super exposed. Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. It didn't have to be here, did it? It could just be here. Although that said, maybe it's just purely because it was kind of slap bang right in the middle of... Yeah, you never know. Are you in? I hope. If you want to go to the south, Pantabo, you can go to the north if you like. But yeah, threat farming is really helping the north as well. So potentially, maybe if the threat farm goes to like minus 100k, I'd swing my opinion across to the north. They're going for a rocket for sure, and it has been a while since we've been up there. So let's take a look. The bots are quick. Rocket fuel is going down. I don't see yellow in the labs. And they're not yet, and they're going even deeper into the follower research. So yeah, Clutch is going to go for like a really long threat farm. Interesting. Mixed builds down here for Kajito. I like it. It's actually really good for a 2-hour game to be at this point. You can imagine that within... They're in. Right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to click a button, and that will tell them which... that will give you the opportunity to be picked into a team. So, don't feel like you need to... You're in, but you're not on a team just yet. So, if you want to play, feel free to click that yes I do. If not, I'm going to end the poll, and you're going to be heading south. the thing to remember here is to talk to your team and try your best to add value. And sometimes add value is, well, ask your team, what jobs need help? How can I help? That's the best thing too. How can I help? Because stuff like this, you won't really be able to help them with other than building the actual buildings. Some of them might just say, look, we need help building a wall. Over here, this whole wall needs to be built. It's huge as well. So, maybe grab some walls and help fill this in. But remember, there'll be a lot of talk in the team as well. Stand around like everyone else. Again, I don't want to be giving you too much advice because I should be impartial. But there are walls being created and going into boxes. If you can find them, helping to finish this wall off to the southwest where the nuclear build is, very important. You don't want to lose any of this nuke now that it's up and running and it's slowly heating up. But good luck, and remember to keep talking. Keep asking questions, keep engaging with your team. The more you talk to them, the more you know about what's going on and what the plan will be too. Okay, the beginnings of yellow. There we go. The beginnings of yellow science is finally going down. And hopefully we'll start to see some rocket outputs because there's no research kicking in for the north. What are they missing? Is it mill? They're missing mill side for real? Same team as Ness. Ness is north. Wait, am I wrong here? Advice, keep talking. My team 20 minutes later. Please stop. There is such a thing as not talking too much, yes. But yeah, I do agree. So yeah, they're missing mill side. That's an interesting one because mill is typically not super hard to make. Slight mistake there because unless they're trying to back up their labs and have them kind of preloaded, but yeah, I don't mind this though. It's weird. We're seeing adaptations all the time when it comes to science. I like this. So if you want to be on the same team as Ness, I thought Ness was north. I might be wrong. Let me find it. And if you guys spot Ness, let me know. Or is Ness not in the game already? Ness waiting. Okay, yeah, let's do this then. Which team needs help more? Right, here's what's going to happen. Are you ready to play Ness? I don't want to throw you in. I got told to do nothing. I tell you what, why don't you join Ness and Panta, who are going to join you on South, and then you can help them do what they need to do. Does that sound like a plan? Join the Biter team. So let's put Panta going to go south. Ness is going to go south, and the next few picks are going to go to north. So all you've got to do is now just coordinate. If you guys don't mind adopting Christy for a little bit, if you can drag him along, just a little basic. He hasn't played a lot of Factorio. The simple stuff like filling in blueprints and putting down inserters. If you can take the lead on that, I'm sure you'd welcome an extra pair of hands. The North will get the next 2 picks, so please don't feel like I'm trying to influence the game here. I believe Panther and Christie are brand new, so realistically Ness has been the only one. That's not a good sign, is it? Oh, Hive Mind Bite. Imagine, mate. I would absolutely love. It would turn it into StarCraft. Imagine if you could play as the biters and spawn certain types. Do you know what I mean? So you could kind of armored biters, frozen biters. I don't know how you'd... Maybe by picking off things on the map, you get points. And those points means you can research different types of biters. So let's say you run and take out 10 belts. That gives you 10 points. I have 5 FPS, Sag. I'm sorry, dude. We're hovering around that 50 player mark as well. Where are you connecting from, Panther? Are you... Seems a little smoother. Hopefully not from miles and miles away. Remember, the server is based in Europe. I think there'd be some... I mean, I'd love to try it. You know, imagine one side, so, you know, one side of the map, and there is a human player base, and then maybe like 5 or 6, like, bug players. And maybe that they themselves are their own, like an RPG. Like every time they run and die to the players, they get some level ups, but it, you know, their respawn time is long. So you as an individual bug have your own stats, and then you can kind of invest in and spawn different, like, I don't know, bases, you know, that give you different buffs or maybe give you different armor upgrades. You're basically entering StarCraft 2 territory here, but I'd love to see that happen. And somebody, the problem is that this kind of gameplay isn't what most people join Factorio for. They want to build big mega bases and train mega bases and space exploration, but I would happily watch that happen. Alright, awesome. Punching trees, there we go. That's a job you can do, mate. Clear out all of these blueprint areas. Christie's being useful. Good stuff. This makes me nervous. You know, I know that they'll get to it, but you never want to get to it too late. Again, bugs can fight here, here, here. They can also come around the side as well. This makes me nervous, this open area by the nuke. The nuke is something that you don't want to lose. For 2 reasons. You don't just lose the building, it will blow everything up. But coincidentally as well, like, it's out in the open now. Four-core reactor. I accidentally removed some blueprints. Is it Control Z? Try Control Z. Okay, that's fine, mate. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, Control Z, mate. Control Z should undo any blueprints that you've deleted. You might need to press Control Z a few times. Like, it will replace the blueprint that you've pulled up. It's very normal though, because this stuff is right-clickable. So, and again, the guys will know to fill the gaps. Like, obviously the blueprint is the same thing all over the place. So don't feel too bad. That's not game-breaking at all. And the clearing of the trees. There is no blueprint book in this game. Oh, it's locked to your mouse. Drop it on the ground, mate. Drop it on the ground if you can. Z. I'm disappointed. Z. Yeah, try and, if you can, click on the ground or press F. And that should push it onto the ground. I mean, I never said the game was easy. It doesn't work. Can you put it in your... Yeah, Z, sorry, Z. Hover over the ground and hit Z. Or Z. And that should, yeah, that should drop it on the ground. But for the deleted blueprints, try and press Control Z, and that might pull them back in. At the same time, though, these blueprints can be recopied across. So, like, the one that is intact can just be copied over the ones that have been taken out. So don't feel like you've done damage here. You haven't pulled up anything that doesn't already exist. There's just some gaps. And again, you are helping by clearing trees, so that's a good thing too. And if South win... Oh, you don't have trusted. That's fine though, mate. If South win, it's all because of you. Yeah. Actually, yeah, Enkling's the captain. So just ask him to repaste this. That's the best thing to go about. That's the best way to go about it. Because they'll let bots do it, won't they? And then eventually there'll be like a gap in it all. Okay, we've got some people coming in, I think. That's all right, mate. Keep punching trees. That's the best way to go. Keep punching trees, and don't worry about the rest of it. You know, I'll let Enkling know, or somebody on your team can let Enkling know that the blueprint isn't fully cast. Worried about North's defense. I'm not worried about North's outpost, and they're beaconing their yellow science as well. Have they managed to fix their military setup? No. No? Is this... Military less. They're going to need it for the silo though, right? Am I wrong in this? They're going to need it for silo research. No, they don't. My bad. Okay. They just need it later for... Okay, yeah, that's smart. Don't make what you don't need. Okay. Let's take a quick check-in on more mixed builds going down. You love to see it. They're piping this to an area where the silo will be. I mean, are they not going to kind of convert that down the line? Let's get these players in. If somebody wants to play. Classic science. I mean, I don't hate it. And again, we've got to think here, guys. We're at the 2 hour and 20 mark, and we're already at the purple-yellow signs. So I'm hoping that we're going to be seeing rockets at some point in maybe the 3 hour 20 mark. They're going to have to convert though, right? Unless somebody wants to run some mill signs from main over. Did they just switch it off? Like, is there like a mill signs build that I can't find that is just currently off? Yo, they smashed it this game. The South have been... What I like about Enkling's build, and I don't want to be giving away too much here, you're not trusted in the server, mate, so you can't place blueprints. And I'm not able to give you trusted either. You'd need to play a couple of games before I can give you the opportunity to put blueprints down. The reason being, you can spam, well, not you, but new players can spam and also pull up blueprints. So the best thing to do is try and find jobs that you can physically do. Clearing trees is a really good one because trees are always in the way. Building the wall is very important, especially out if you look into these areas here, like these little H wall segments. Like they are the most useful you can. The most useful thing you could probably do at the moment, since these need to be going down, and the extremities of your wall it's very thin. So potentially just grabbing a handful of walls, a few hundred, slapping them down, probably. And I don't want to be telling you what to do, but probably could be quite a useful play for you. Go. That's a good point as well. I just worry about his ability to defend himself if he bumps into any bugs. Better stay inside and safe and alive than dead and upset outside. Ooh. Okay. 16? No. That's huge. If you can get this off, mate. The classic stealer. Why don't I just loan you some blue chips? Make some personal lasers and... We're scaling up, we're ramping up, definitely. I don't think this is going to be a long game. But again, blueprinted silo. We already have some fuel, like mounting up. LDS is going in. RCUs aren't far behind, I'm guessing. Now, again, obviously the silo needs to be researched, and you need to build a rocket. You also need to build a satellite to stick in the robot in the rocket silo. Jesus, I need more coffee. So we're not close, but we're closing in on. My worry for, I say worry, it's not really worry, but it looks to me like North are going to hit rocket first. They have an abundance of LDS, that's great. Unless I'm missing something here. They have an abundance of almost everything, so... Your opinion. Okay, more ores come in. Yeah, they get solid tech, but I'm struggling to see their endgame rocket production stuff, so I don't see any rocket fuel. I don't see, I mean, I might be wrong here, but I am a timberman. Genuinely useful thing, man, honestly. I know it feels like dick work, but you could also use a grenade to blow the trees up as well. but this is quick because you've got upgrades in your steel axe as well. And what you're doing is later, when roboports come here, is that the bots will only place useful stuff. So it feels like this isn't a good thing to do. It is, absolutely is. And this is an underrated thing to do for your team, especially at this point when you don't have a ton of bots and you don't have an outreaching robo network. So I'm worried about the South not having, and I might be wrong, I might have missed it, but some kind of rocket fuel, RCU build, like it's. Oh, you pinged the rocket fuel. Let me take a look. You are correct, sir. You are absolutely correct. If there's a really dense forest area, throwing a grenade on top of the trees is probably the best way to go about that. To make a grenade, you'll need a little bit of coal, raw coal, and iron plates. There'll also be a building somewhere in your base that should be building grenades naturally anyway, either at the end of a line or by military science. Poison capsules good, a little bit more expensive though, but yeah, equally so, poison capsules will also do the job. Yeah, poison caps? They should. Be rude not to, really, at this stage of the game. Like, setting yourself up. Here we go, that's what I've missed. This is what I've missed. This going down. We're not a million miles away from this. And you said you pinged rocket fuel, did you? Mind pinging that again? Oh, we go. Yeah, got you. Oh, okay, I was wrong. I was blind, but now I see. Here we are. And it's looking quite healthy. Right, that's 2 out of the 3. Rocket fuel is on its way. Oh, damn. Who said earlier on whether you can use the silo in main? It looks to me like these nerds absolutely are. I mean, why not though, right? Why waste a load of resources building a silo that you just get given at the beginning of the game? So that's 2 out of the 3 components. You do need a satellite as well, and that is its own mini game. However, RCUs are on the way. Blue chips are really backed up, which you'd love to see. There won't be a secondary. Alright, and this just tacks on. Okay. I like this approach from the South. Sometimes what you tend to see is you see egregious amounts of mixed production that doesn't turn on. Yeah, mate, props, 100% I agree with that. South build is one big... I was confused a little bit initially because, as you can see, or as the game normally goes, you have your kind of... And again, apologise for drawing, but I'll never apologise for drawing because I love it. Your main base is kind of like, you know, this area. Not all the time, but, you know, your main base is kind of like the initial kind of thrust. It can be larger, it can be more squat, you know, this kind of size of area. And I was really worried about, like, what this was and what that was. I was like, why are they so close? Surely a huge front line means that you're going to need an enormous amount of defense. But they don't have outposts, really. They have extensions. You know, this is base 1. This is 1.5. This is, you know, 2. And they all are encapsulated by an enormous defensive line. And inside of that, we have our power. We have huge power, enormous amount of defense. You know, huge reactors tucked away, far away. We have our laser production, we have our endgame builders, and they all feed back into main. And this is what the game used to be played like. When I first started playing the game, this is how the meta was. You effectively build a ton of... Oh, let me... Okay, cool. There we go. I really like it that we used to have in the olden days, in the ancient times, large sprawling bases that were heavily defended, and one or two outposts. That kind of were useful, kind of. Whereas with this, we see a traditional base that still has. And the thing is, with your bots are flying so far for this. Put a wall down here it's such a distance. They're steaming into a rocket. Alright, Elday's looking healthy. No RCUs. RCU building is going down as we speak. Rocket fuel is coming in. The South have a window here, man. He prodded the centrifuges. Oh, interesting. Don't see that every day, do you? I think it does. I might be wrong here, but I have seen this done in normal playthroughs. But it's a marginal gain. It's not a... Yeah, it's a marginal gain. I assumed it just meant it cranked out more of everything. I might be wrong here because I don't mess around too much with nukes, but they're producing a decent amount of fuel, to be fair. Oh, let's quickly zoom randomly into that. Okay, here's my contention now. Here's my prediction. We have a window of opportunity for the South to strike at the North if they can get the first rocket up and away. If we can get the first rocket up and away, we're looking at a timing where number 2, number 3 can come in, hopefully before the North have any opportunity to react and get my words out correctly. So here's my thinking. How many rockets do you think the South can get up and send? Or no, let me rephrase that question because that's kind of quite open-ended. What does it take to break this? How much does it take to break this? Do you see your first rocket go up? Grenades you'll need. Coal, as well as iron plates. And iron plates, if you head down south, there's a base just below you. Oh, let me pull up the Evo stats. There's a base just below you, and if you control and click on one of these steel furnaces, you'll pull 100 plates out of the steel furnace. Normally you have to ask people. Oh, there's also a box of grenades as well, but just ask the person whose base this is if you can do it, if it's okay. There's a grenade building at the very bottom of this area, but just ask in chat, say, hey, can I borrow some grenades off of you to clear some trees? It's always nice to ask the person whose base it is, because again, they might be saving that for something else. The owner of this base is called Cognitive Fun, but we just call them Cog. Just go, hey buddy, can I borrow some grenades from you? And I'm almost certain that they'll be happy for you to do that. Cog's a great player, by the way, very beginner friendly. There we go, perfect, teamwork. And that's what they're there for, you know. The thing that I like the most is when you get really good teammates, you tend to, you might need to help him defend though, mate. You might need some grenades very quickly. You have a gun? Run. If you don't have a gun, then run, mate. Run away. Kite them away. And then see if you can bring them back to him. Oh, Sag. Gotta press F to pay respects. Nura with an enormous send there. And another attack as well. That sucks. Although that is the nature of the game, though. The bugs are coming for you. So congratulations. You've experienced your first death in Biter Battles. It won't be the last. There will be more. But you'll be able to get back there in no time, mate. You know, this is the risk you take for playing outside of the base. But it's a necessary risk as well, right? Neuro just sent an enormous amount of science, so let's see what that's done to our mutagen. It's jumped up 28 points, Jesus. So now, nice. The South are dealing with 69%. And 16,000 bugs will be crashing onto their walls. Am I worried about them? Not particularly at 69%. Any higher than that, 75, 85, 90%, I'd worry. And in areas like this, I would be worried. Just generally speaking, there's nothing really here that can push them back. So we will see some kind of more developed and deeper attacks onto the south. But I believe if the shoe was on the other foot and the north were having to deal with 69% bugs, yeah. Although flamers like this aren't going to hold. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll be able to do some damage, but there's just not enough of them. And the wall is just so small. This is a small wall. So yeah, this does bother me a little bit, but you do kind of reap what you sow in a game mode like this. Silos down, Prod 3s are in. Production has started. The North have managed to strike first in the rocket race. There are, I think if I remember correctly, somewhere in Carl's base. They do have, and somebody's taken, but they had hundreds and hundreds of these. So yeah, each building's built 120 plus, so they should have the rocket, the necessary lasers. I'm hoping somebody's running out and placing them at this point, because they're going to need them. The wave's all going to be dense now. Here we go. They're relatively upgraded, and the bugs, being quite weak, are bouncing around. Later on though, they will sustain their damage. Threat Farmer took the lasers, as always. But out here in these more kind of disparate areas, and again, like, you need more than just a few, they are kind of lasting a little bit longer, so. And in these areas, where the wall is very small, they're getting a little closer, so. Yeah, a bit too close for comfort. If I was south, I'd definitely be pulling roboports out here straight away. Get your roboports out here, extend your bot network, and get your robots flying out, because you can't just have this on its own. You know, you've got your walls down, that's good. Got a whole line of walls ready to go to replace, so. Yeah, I like this. I'd be hoping that the laser research does tick in quite close. Oh, he died again. Don't worry about it, mate. It happens all the time. Remember, if you're in main base, it's not against the rules to take things from main base. So if you need to take copper plates from this line, you can. If you need to take things from these lines, you can. But just don't. We're also at a point now where this base might just not be able to survive. So now we could be at a point in the game where actually the best thing you can really do is try and stay inside and build the walls from the inside too. So let's see. You do have a wall box somewhere. Somebody is building walls, or there'll be. In fact, yeah, there are. There are little boxes. You'll see. You see these red boxes here. You're allowed to grab the walls out of here. Yeah, you're allowed to grab these and put them down. And as you can see here, Ragnar is in the right spot because your walls are not that strong out here. There's not even flame turrets out here, which is really dangerous. In spawn, there's a random chest. Oh yeah, you can grab that stuff. Because that's just somebody's dumping their inventory. So yeah, you can grab that. That's free real estate, because that's somebody who's left the game who's just put it all down. So you've even got a car in there. I wouldn't take the car, you don't need it, but. Alright, let's check in on this then. Interesting. Beacon Rocket at 75, 74 out of 100. RCUs are the determining factor, however. Nuke here, nice. What about here? Do we have Prod 3s? We don't. LDS is loading up. We have enough for a rocket, I guess. Prod 3s aren't down and satellite's not in, so we are literally looking at a rocket race. Whisper with a decent throw, but surely that doesn't do a huge amount. Okay, yeah, he's just tickling the numbers up by 3 and by 6. Trilliben, it wouldn't surprise me. Do you know, I haven't seen much from Trilliben today. Is that how you said Trillibenenin? Apologize if I'm butchering that. I haven't seen much from him this game. So nades If you click on your bar down here, it'll bring up a menu. Head over to combat, click on grenades, and that'll put it into your little bar here. Then, when you're out in the world, if you left click the grenade, it'll equip it into your hand where your mouse pointer is, and then when you click on the map, it will throw it. Try and throw it away from you, don't throw it on top of you, because a grenade can kill you. So be careful about self-detonation. There will be 2 captain's games today. There will be 2. I'm going to a wedding later, so that's why it's early. But later there'll be another one that's hosted by somebody that's more friendly to the American guys, because I know some people were not happy this starts at like 8 in the morning, but by 6 o'clock tonight I need to be in my car and I need to be driving across the country to Wales. It does destroy friendly structures, so be careful. Don't worry about walls too much. You have lots of walls spare, and walls are cheap. So the best thing you can do at the moment is kill the bugs. It doesn't matter if you lose a couple walls, that's fine. Do not, however, grenade any of the defensive structures. Please, please do not grenade the laser towers. They won't be on top of the laser towers, but there's an area which is like danger zone that you'll have to sit in. So the bugs are coming this way, and obviously the flamers will be firing fire in this direction. There's a little area here where you can exist, but be careful. If fire lands here, or if their acid from the enemies spit in this area, this is kind of like the human zone, right? This is where you can be anywhere across the defensive line, right? Anywhere across here, this is where you can be and play. But just be careful when they come that you can take damage in that zone. And that's the difficulty later of defending, is that you have to be there, but you have to be able to survive there too. That right-hand side needs a lot of love. As you can see, there's loads of blueprints that need to go down. Lots of walls need to happen, so... yeah. But you can do it. Yeah, get some food now, mate. Get some food. Obviously, like, just take a timing of the recording, and when I post the VOD up, just head back. That way you won't miss anything. The south are... The north, sorry. I mean, it's sat there, it's parked at the moment, but this is really good timing for a rocket. 2 hours 42. These guys got their modules are in at all. Do you have any Prod 3s going in? Or are we waiting? There's no way we're waiting for research, right? And that's just lasers from here. Oh, sorry, that was for the north. For the south. Oh dear. They're behind in research. I thought the south were ahead, they're not. What if I don't want to look it back? That's fine, I won't take it personally. I won't cry. Oh dear. South are behind. And as I say that, expertly done, we see rocket number 1. Don't have 2K. Kajito is playing mind games again with the referee, even though the referee sees bloody everything. Okay, so 1 rocket's gone up. I don't believe at this point in time a rocket will really dent this. They're low on defenses, physical defenses, but they're strong in terms of the size of the wall. So, at any given moment, a person can run over to a spot that's not well defended and defend it. For instance, like this corner. Oh, I need to change my music in a second. Beyond that, I am not super jazzed about things like this. You could stick another underground in and some walls in between, but these areas on the western side are definitely in need of some love. And if I'm being honest, boys, somebody needs to have dragged some roboports out here. Oh, steady. Yeah, we're missing some roboports that need to be connecting deeper into the network here, here, here. It just has to happen. Well, it is, but it's slow. And that might be down to the amount of bots, actually. We're only looking at 1,000 bots here. That's interesting as well. Hey, 2D Nerd. Nice to have you with us. West and East sides are competing. What is the goal? That's a great question. So each team... the North, in this game mode, it's the North and the South that are competing with each other. The map is exactly the same on either side, it's just flipped. So if you have, for instance, like a lake on this side, there'll also be a lake on the other side, but just in reverse. So there's no benefit from being on either the north or the south. The aim of the game is to defend your rocket silo from being killed by the bugs on the team on your side, and the bugs live at the very bottom of the map or at the very top. There are thousands of them as well. Over the course of the game, the bugs will evolve and get stronger, and there'll be more of them as the game goes on, meaning that you're going to need to build lots of big thick walls, build laser towers, and build flame turrets, and and basically pushing everything away from you, pushing the bugs back. At the moment, the bugs are not that strong, because we're only about 2 hours into the game, but in about an hour's time, the bugs will be so strong, they're going to just crash through all of this stuff. So your goal is to protect your rocket silo. At the same time, you need to get into the technology tree and research as much as possible. You need to build loads and loads of power to power up your base, and you need to build really big walls to keep the bugs away from killing your base off. That's the kind of very basics of the game. As you can see here, we have 24 players on North and 23 players on South, and each team has a captain that is on our Discord talking to their team about the strategy they need to happen to get to the end of the game. So these are really organized versions of the game, but during the week there are more casual playthroughs where people can join and just do whatever they want. So the way to look at this is, feel free to ask any questions firstly. My name's Ghosty. I'm the strongest player in the server at the moment. I'm the highest rated player in the server at the moment. We have lots of elos and lots of tracking data that tells you how good a player is. I'm at the very top of all of those lists. And so what I like to do is I like to stream on the weekends, referee a game. So I'm the referee of this game. If there's any problems, I'll be the one dealing with it. And I like to explain to any new players who are coming in. Overgrabbed earlier. Got you. I'm kind of here to... Yeah, there is. I'll send you a link to our stats page. In fact, I'll send you a link to our captain stats. So we have, obviously, there's lots of like nerdy bits and pieces. If you just like the game, just sit and watch. We have a 1v1 tournament also happening. A 1v1 tournament, a money tournament happening next week. And that will be for a couple of €100 for the winner. So next Saturday and next Sunday, we're going to be having a money tournament. It's going to be good. The last one, somebody won close to €500, and that was at the end of December, I think. Oh, thank you for the follow. I'm almost at 200. That's kind of nuts. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So yeah, the end game result here for both teams now that we're in the end game, the very end of the game, is to launch rockets. The only way that you have access to the best science tier, the space science, is to send a rocket into space. And the northern team have managed to get very close to their second rocket, which is kind of a big deal. You're starting to deal with numbers that the other team can't deal with. Saturday, Sunday. I may be wrong, and I'd need to double check. But I think it starts on Saturday because of the amount of players involved. I might be wrong about this, so I'll double check before the end of the stream. The way that I thought it was going to be going down was everything up to the semi-finals was on Saturday, and then Sunday was going to be semi-finals and the finals. That's a future event. However, I might be wrong, and we might be having it happen all in one day. If I remember correctly as well, we're up to €350 for the winner. It's fine. Tortillas are distracting. How do I equip a pistol? Your pistol should be down here in your gun slot, and then you need some ammunition for it as well. Ammo can be built using just normal plates, normal iron plates. And again, you don't really want a pistol. If you can build a submachine gun, that's much better. That does a lot more damage. And even with yellow ammo, the submachine gun is better. When you find the bugs, or when the bugs find you, because they will, point your mouse cursor towards them and hold down spacebar, and you'll shoot the bullets that you have in your gun at the bugs. At this point in the game, grenading them is probably better. I'm going to be honest, the bugs are going to be too strong for bullets. And here we go, another rocket. And that's quite quick, actually, considering the first one that went up. So I asked the question earlier, how much space science does it take to kill this defense? And I think the answer to that is probably one rocket. I may be wrong. How to equip your pistol. I get shouted down, mate. I'm not free enough to own a firearm. No hate, all love to my American homies, obviously. So your pistol is always on you at all times. If your pistol is down here, then you have a gun on you. But you can shoot it by holding down spacebar. The thing is, I can't jump into game to show you this, unfortunately. But you can, but it will only shoot if you're near an enemy. So if you're holding down spacebar right now and there's nothing to shoot at, you won't pull your gun out. I will do, Zer. I will get back to you on that one. It takes me, all I'll need to do is flick through a couple of our Discord channels to find the event and all the details involved as well. But before the end of this stream, or maybe at the end, I'll send you a quick DM. Carl is the guy to... so, yes, good question. A rocket, the way that you play this game is that you either can use the sciences to research so that you can get deeper into the game. You know, you can get access to better technology. Eventually, you can get robots. You can get, laser towers, stuff that you don't have at the beginning of the game. Or you can choose to throw science, and I use the word throw as a bit of a, you influence the enemy's bugs. For instance, here, Neuro threw 1,100 purple jugs at the other people's bugs, or his enemy's bugs, and that made them evolve by 28%, and it added 13,000 of them. So each science has a different multiplier. So the weaker ones, don't do a lot. Here we go. One jug of red science, did nothing. Later on, when you get access to yellow and white science, the evolution jump and the threat jump will be huge. So when you're influencing the enemy bugs, you're making them stronger so they can get through the defenses. So it is PvP because you're fighting an enemy team by trying to speed run to the end of the game fast, getting to these late game items, and then you're trying to influence the enemy bugs, be bigger and stronger. And so yeah, one rocket is 1,000 space science. Now you can either keep that and research with it, or you can throw it over to the bugs. And if we have a look here, let me just quickly, I like using my drawing tools whilst we watch the bugs die. You take a look here, we've got two different stats. That's terrible, I don't need to, sorry about that. I need to get some more music on in a second. We have an evolution number and a threat number. The evolution is how strong each bug is, and the threat is how many bugs there are. So if we take the South, for example, the South are dealing with, at the moment, 70% strength, and there's only 4,000, so there's not a lot of them. When they send the white science across the table, then this Evo number can go to 150%, 200%. We've seen bugs as strong as 350%, and when it gets to that point, they have a chance to revive as well. At the moment, there is 0% chance that they'll revive. When they get over 100, I think it's like 10%, they can start reviving. So the idea in this endgame, whilst I change the music out, is to amass multiple rockets worth of science and throw it at the enemy's base when you think you can break them. Where's Christy? Okay, yeah. Do you think you can fight them? All right, let's see if you can fight them off. I have faith. I have faith. Go, Christy, go. He's got a few. Oh, press F in chat, boys. You killed a few. You also led them in towards another base, which I don't think is worth, although this is kind of destined to die anyway. Yeah. So yeah, the kind of long and short of it is to pump up the enemy's numbers and make the game unplayable, so they don't get to build all their fancy science stuff. they're spending all of their energy defending their wall. So there are meaningful sends that you can there are timings that you can hit. For instance, let's just for example say that this is the main base wall, and I've just built my first 1000 purple science. If I'm looking at these defenses, I'm sat there going, do you know what? Oh, there we go. 1000 white science has been sent from the south to the north. Let's take a look at what that's done. This is a great example. This is probably better than anything I could have come up with. Mutation log. The best science, 1000 of the best science, has just been built. That's jumped the evolution up by 52 points, and that's just having 1000 of it. So that's a 52% increase. So now the North are dealing with 95% strength bugs, and it's added 45,000 onto the table. Without going into threat farming too much, what they're effectively saying is, we think that strong bugs can get through this wall. So instead of saving, 5 rockets worth, so 5,000 white signs, we think that 1 rocket, getting in the car, just press enter to get into the car, enter button. We think that there are areas of the map that we think the bugs can break into. And like I said earlier, the goal and the objective of this game mode is to save your silo from not dying. So the bugs will naturally, they'll path towards your defenses and then get stopped. But there are areas on the side of your map that are undefended. And if 95% bugs end up crashing into your power block, end up crashing into your production, and eventually end up crashing into your silo, you will lose the game. So now it's all about how North can survive. You use the leave button to leave. So at the moment they've done something called, it's minus threat. That's a really good point. When the bugs are weak, when they're about 0% to about 40 to 50%, you can go and fight them. And what that means is you create a negative threat, meaning the bugs become passive. Once the threat number is positive, everything on the map will start aggressing towards your base. So they'll start aggressing towards these side bases, and they'll aggress onto your main wall. What the North have done, which the South haven't, is they've invested into farming the bugs, fighting them whilst they're weak, and pushing them back. And by doing that, they've created this negative number. Now, at 95%, there is no way you can threat farm. They are literally now on the clock. They have to wait probably about 10 minutes for this to become positive, and hope that in that 10 minutes, they can push their defenses up to be a lot beefier than this. This is not good enough. I'm not saying that to take the piss. I'm just saying that as a player who's played this game a lot, this will not survive 95% bugs. Because it won't be the first wave. Going back to my drawing tools. The first wave will come and hit, and they will decimate, let's say for instance, this block. They'll take this much of the wall out. Wave 2 will come in, and they will start their fight here. And then they will start taking out this area. So they've created a hole in the wall. And then wave 3 will come into here, and so on, and so on, and so on. So it's a cascading problem if your defense is weak. And at the moment, their defense is very, very weak. I worry about a level like this. Again, they are building their own rockets, and they're saving their own white science. So if, say for instance, the North were to send 5,000 white science to the South have a lot of problems to deal with. So we're in a bit of a staring contest at the moment now. But I'm liking the speed of this as well, guys. We're having multiple rockets at the sub 3 hour mark. It takes a lot to be this quick and this efficient. Where did you die? Sorry, mate. I've been explaining the new game to a new player. Oh yeah, if they're guarding your body, there's a very strong chance you're not going to be able to get it back, mate. Unless you've got some help. If you can get close to it, right-click it, hold down right-click, and it'll pick your body up. But at the moment, those bugs are just hanging around, so I wouldn't. You might be wasting your time, because there's more coming in. In fact, there's another wave coming in, so it might be better to stay inside. Or you could kite them, like in zombies, and run them into your defenses. But here we see, with upgraded lasers, the bugs are not much of a match. Later on, we'll have some boss bugs, so bugs with health bars, and they will absolutely be a problem for any side that deals with them. So that's a very basic understanding of the game. I could go into more detail for you, but I feel like that's a good enough explanation to kind of show you the very basics. I'll be posting the video of this up onto YouTube later. This is vanilla, yes. However, we do have Bob's mods and a couple of other scenarios that we run, which is biter battles, but with their buildings. So we have those really weird defensive buildings, and yeah, we've had some pretty crazy. We also do things like space exploration and other stuff too. But the way I look at this server is that everyone's here to play biter battles, but we're just fans of the game. So if there's another cool scenario like Crastorio or Bob's, we find a way to play it. And as you can see, there's 20 players on one team, there's 23 on another. There are 43 people today playing Factorio against each other. The highest number we've ever had is, Christy, going for the max amount of deaths. Yeah, at this point, I wouldn't be outside. They're going to get a lot stronger now, so you won't want to be facing them. We play this all the time. And just so that you can see, the way that you join, I'm not saying you should, but if you wanted to, let me just quickly show you how you join. You go to multiplayer, you click on public games, and our server is normally the most popular. I would really surprise me if there's a more populated game in this game than ours. So freebiterbattles.org, hit join, and that'll drag you in. Slowly load back into the game. I'm hoping nobody sent any more white signs. Yeah, I know, right? Oh dear. I'm just trying to help new people, you know? I like the game mode, I'm a fan of it, so I like whenever we have a new person coming in, I do like to answer questions, as you know. Because we were all new once. I was, for 5 seconds, and then I turned into a legend, so... Come on. I bet you I've joined just as they've sent white signs. Alright, the evolution's the same. Can I join Team Red? Let me... You can join a team. Anybody else? It's a bit late for a lot of these guys to be jumping in. And we will also need to slow the game down later as well. Oh, it's a rocket race. You love to see it. We found one, boys. We found a ninja. Well, there's somebody with mega legs on his person. You got to take it personal, man. You got to get to him. You got to go and mess him up. Right, so we're starting to get close to a positive number for the North, and that's a real problem. You want to? Okay, I'll give you a hand, mate. Let me throw you. But you're only coming in to get the body, okay? You're not coming in to help defend. Welcome to international love. All right, Christy. White Lol is a veteran player. He's going to come and help get your body back. So yeah, now we're looking at a decent amount of white signs being built up. The North outpost is looking strong, but they are slightly hampered a little bit, and I think it's is it the satellite that we're missing, right? But we're on for a final kind of rush here. We've got, you know, he got it. All right, jump back out then, mate, because I've kind of chucked you onto a team. Congratulations as well, mate. That's a win, I believe. There's another of your bodies out here too. Hold down right click and you grab all the stuff. Yeah, I call that a win, mate. For a new player, being able to get your body back, rather than giving up and just being like, okay, screw this, I hate this. So the question now, really, is... Ah, 1 second. Oh, they sent. Huge. At 69,000, nice. 69,000 threat. 127 evolution. I'm going to slow the game down. We won't be slow. Oh, fuck off. Is it .c, isn't it? No, it's -c, isn't it? Oh, it's game dash speed, isn't it? I'm a fucking moron. Oh, I'm gonna... Got to drive later. What's my syntax error? Why am I getting this wrong? Let me head to the mutagen log real quick. This shouldn't kill anybody off just yet. We're not that late into the game. So another 32-point jump to 128%. There's now 68,000 or 69,000 bugs. Yeah, it's -c, isn't it? I'm an idiot. It's been a while, and I've got a lot on my plate at the moment, so thank you again for that. All right, here we go. So the throws have happened. The North have thrown to the South now, and the South are now dealing with 148% bugs. They have lasers down. The lasers are upgraded. They're not fully upgraded, however. Meanwhile, the North are going to start dealing with these behemoths, and these bosses with health bars above their head are going to start making some inroads. They are making inroads. The lasers are well upgraded, but the behemoths do not care. They have a chance to revive now, and they are just shredding the base. And I think the North have just waited a little bit too long to get this up. The North nuke is cooling off, and the thing is, this is wave 1. Wave 1 have carved a hole. This is wave 2. Wave 3 is just behind it. When we're talking about, unstoppable objects, unrelenting force, this is it. They're on top of your defenses. They're killing off your lasers. The boss is still alive. The health bar is slowly ticking down. Proxent said the North nuke is cooling off. And here we go. The side swipes have happened. Yeah. I knew it. I called it from the moment I saw it. Side swipes. I will check in on the South as well, but I believe the North are in a really perilous situation at the moment. They've been breached. Their outpost it currently has a lot of dangerous bugs heading towards it. And as we scan down, the silo is literally a few screens away from boss bugs. There is very little you can do to defend these other than stick some capsules onto them. Did you just get banned, White Lol? No way. White Lol, did you get banned from my chat just now for typing in the word biters? Oh yeah, your pockets are full, mate. You just unloaded. Oh, he banned. Oh, it's a channel point thing. Got you. Sorry, I got really worried there. I thought he'd been banned from saying it. Alright, I'll come up with something else. The bugs. I think bugs is a redeemable. The aliens, the monsters, the behemoths. The atrocities, the nightmare fuel that is packs and waves of bugs crashing into late game infrastructure. And you can just see now they're just going to start tearing through the base. No matter what happens, this base is on the clock. You have maybe at 94 out of 100, you maybe have one more rocket that you can build and send. Let's see, are the South getting hit at all? South have 194,000 things to deal with, so eventually they will start having some problems. And again, there are parts of their defenses that are incredibly weak. However, the North have managed to bounce back. The bots have rebuilt some of the defenses. The walls are still kind of there, but they're creaking. And again, it's these areas. This. I would say this is worse than the main base going down. If you lose the outpost, you would lose any winning chance you have of the game. And you can't kill this stuff off. I'm sorry, boys, you're going to try really hard, but this is going to tear your base to shreds. And that's got to be it, sure. Look at the state of this. The lasers are well upgraded, to be fair to them, but, the spitters are like two-tapping the defenses. And again, the win condition for the North is this. This is their win condition. Pump out rockets non-stop. Make sure that you can send large amounts of white signs, because the South are dealing with a highly evolved state, but they are better cocooned in their defenses. Here we go. Whisper, being an absolute legend, is kiting the bugs, allowing his defenses to take on the bosses one by one. And again, it's by doing things like this that are game-winning plays. You know, poison capsules, slow capsules, bring them in one by one. You know, burn them down little by little, and then dive into some defenses they can't go through. This is nuanced, but this is endgame defense at its finest. You are basically stopping what is the largest threat to your base from crashing in at any given time. So yes, you will be penetrated. There will be some. What's up? What's going on? So yeah, there still are problems. They still will get through. Okay, which player are you, mate? Which player are you? I'm Triller. Okay, let me get you back on. So you're on to South, yeah? Your manager... Mostly Dreams, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. You're joining us at the end of a really good game. It seems as though both teams are absolutely on their arse. The South, not as much as the North, but the North have so many problems. No worries, mate. No worries at all. And enjoy. You need to defend. There's a lot of defense to do. So they've broken through. The bugs are dying, and again, like, the lasers are decently upgraded, but not really fully upgraded, though. We're only at 38. And again, it's how these walls are replaced. I think Whisper's done a good job there, though. A really good job, actually, in defending. Sorry, I will get back to you, Mostly Dreams, as well. I'm just trying to commentate on what is a very dangerous end to the game. Wait, people arguing? Would have swapped me to South anyways. That's the same as you got Ness. Oh, you're dying again. Yeah, that'll happen, mate. They are too big to confront, you know. At this point, okay, another 1,000 goes across. So now the South are dealing with 164% bugs. It's by no mean feat done and dusted, but eventually these waves will split and they are going to start crashing in the air. So I don't know if the North get another rocket off, really. I mean, you can kite them as much as you like, but you're not killing them. You're just kind of juggling them a little bit. And the moment people start dying, yeah, we're going to have some issues here. To Eagle's point, or to anybody complaining, Ness joined with a brand new player, a friend of his who was in chat. I don't believe they've had a real game winning. So it's more about, yeah, I thought the teams were very even. In fact, I even thought the North were stronger overall. This is a shame. But at the same time, too, we did speak about this at the very beginning of the stream. If you have making an outpost is a gamble. If you don't defend it, you're really gambling heavily. And again, when it comes to behemoths, you can't really do a huge amount. Even the main base, like here, the walls are struggling. So, yeah, it's been a good game. I won't concede to it this being like rigged or I've kind of somehow influenced the teams. I am friends with everybody here, I'd like to think, or at least, you know, on good terms, but I don't have any favorites. It's not like I want Mega Jerry in the winning team, so I just put him down south. So, yeah, I'd like to think that we do things as fairly as we can. Why is there a gap in the wall, though? Okay, pretty good defense is happening here. Bot network will be absolutely rammed with tasks. The defense is going well. Ah, so yeah, they deconned it by accident, got you. The thing that the North have going for them is their lasers are fully upgraded. I want to quickly dive into the South to see if they're working on it. They're working on it. They're not miles away. And somebody was saying the nuke was cooling down. Okay, I might need to drop. I know. Alright, game sweep's fine. But yeah, we are now looking at both sides dealing with a lot of pain. Drop the game speed one more time. This is because a lot of white science is being thrown across, so there's a lot of things spawning into the game, and we want as many people to finish the game as possible. I don't want people to get randomly kicked, and then that's it, you know, GG, game over. The North have managed to really, I mean, their base is gone, actually, considering this is rough for the North. Is anybody standing by the silo? They've just given up on silo, so from this point on, the South can send rockets, the North cannot. And after losing an outpost like this, it won't take long for them to rip through here and come to the outer extremities of their defenses. So the South have a harder problem to solve, but they're well defended. Hey, I'm happy to have noobs in here, man. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd like to think over the months of streaming this, I've slowly but surely gotten better at explaining stuff. At this point, though, it's kind of not super obvious who's going to win. They don't, like, this outpost does not get rebuilt. The bots will try and rebuild it, but everybody in here has given up and gone to main. So now you have your outpost is sat in main, but main aren't building any rockets. So let's see how much white science. So North has built 5 rockets, and that's it. The South, however, can continue to build rockets. So they might build 5 or 10 more. So ultimately, you're kind of like banking on whatever it is that you did, breaking and killing off South. And if the South have maintained... Hey, Christy, I think you're on the winning team, mate. I think your individual efforts, clearing trees, grenading yourself, I think you're going to be on the winning team, mate. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah. I think the only thing that can let them down is maybe laser production. And obviously, you know, upgrades. You want to have the strongest lasers possible. The ultimate... Timberman Christie is what they call them. But yeah, production here is absolutely ravaged. The biters are savaging the base, you know, disconnecting power. Do we have a rocket? I mean, it's being built, I guess. I know, satellite production has to be a key now. As well as being hot on... Well, the way that people are defending at the moment is they are finding pockets to defend, physically defending. So people like Spirits finding capsules to throw, being hot on actively defending, because the bugs will get through stuff now. You know, there's no question they will absolutely, and they have a chance to revive, 25% revival chance. There's nothing to sniff at. So these poison capsules, as you can see, are doing a really good job of just knocking down the health pools of some of these spitters, so that when they reach the main gates or the main area of our defense, that they are easier to kill and easier to knock back. And again, the waves are dense now, mostly with biters. Yes, the furnaces here now are more of a distraction, exactly. They are super cheap. In fact, at this point in the game, you don't really use them. So if you have a few hundred spare, you can just spam them down into like a block. And that way the bugs might focus in on that. And what they're doing effectively, and if I get my MS Paint tools out, because I love doing this, as they would normally be pathing directly in, it just gives them an extra thing to kill, which means that you break the wave up as well. I did? I hope so. I used the word bugs, aliens, and behemoths. So yeah, they break up the pathing. And what you don't want is multiple waves slamming onto your walls at the same time. You need them to like come once at a time. Delaying the arrival is, yeah, that's the right way to put it. Now, the North have done well to defend, but they're not well defended in many areas of their map. So this looks good. However, this does not. 101 furnaces. I would, yeah, be safe, but if you can get out here and just put them down, even if it's in a random, like spam them like this, genuine, very good idea. Clutch, his base is getting absolutely monstered. Furnaces for 1 ammo. I don't think they trade for that, my man. Oh, we have some break-ins. We have a behemoth spitter boss. And there's not much you can really do to this. This guy will literally one-tap most structures. How did they get in? Was it up here? Oh, yeah, they've decimated this wall. Alright, so we have a couple of open doors here. Now again, it's just one, so nothing to be too worried about. You can kite them. But waves and waves of these are definitely an issue. And as we can see here now, these furnaces are actually kind of worth their weight in gold here in terms of what they're doing. You know, they're forcing the bugs to split, they're breaking them up, they're making them path in different ways, and so they're not slamming into one specific area. They should now spread and get picked off as they come in. Very good. Very nuanced. You don't see a lot of... That's like a really old school way of playing this game mode, is with the furnace spam. You don't see a lot of new players learn how to do this. So yeah, but did you guys see what just happened there? I'm going to just run us through that real quick, because that was really, really savvy. Normally, bugs want to do this. And if they're like a spearhead, they're going to hit the wall at one spot and drive through it like a nail. What happened here was they started pathing the bugs in a kind of lateral way. So they spread out, and as they were spreading out, they were getting absolutely destroyed by the lasers across the wall. So they didn't even penetrate. The whole time they were walking this way, they were getting smashed by lasers. And it doesn't seem like much, but when the game is at this point, you need every trick in your toolbox, to work for you. And stuff like this, genuine, actually really underrated. This has been a really good game. I mean, it sucks for the outpost guys. This sucks. And, you know, this sucks because they've got a rocket up, but, you know, even with another send, do they really win? South are really well placed at the moment to kind of... Yeah. 4 times the lasers shooting. I mean... And once you get these max upgraded, which they should be on the way to soon... Now let's take a look. Is there anywhere that's dangerous for this area here? Very dangerous, actually, all things considered. This is a super weakness, actually. Another rocket is completed. Do they send? Do they send? Yeah, this is high level, man. I like this. I'm not sure what they do with this 2K. You know, if you're south, you go 160%. We kind of like where we're at. Oh, they sent it. No, don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm just spitballing. So yeah, that pushes them up to 160. The North are now dealing with an extra 97,000 angry bugs. I know, yeah. If there are holes, and there certainly are some really wide open holes here. And again, this isn't a massive issue, but it leads on to, other openings, other parts of the base. I'm driving, mate. I'm going to a wedding in Wales. After this is done, I'm loading up my car, grabbing the missus from her mum's, loading up the dog. Hopefully he doesn't throw up all the way through there, and I'm driving cross country. A very good friend of mine is, tomorrow's the wedding. So I'm staying overnight tonight in a hotel. My friend took 9 years to propose. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's a long time. Dating is fine, but 9 years to actually, ask the question. So it's been a long time coming, this one. Yeah, I'm getting down there early, so I don't have to stress about traffic and all that stuff. So I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow night, sorry, I'll be back, because I'm not drinking. I'm just going to kind of be there and enjoy the atmosphere. So yeah, right, I'm going to get a quick drink. We are looking at a really strong defensive performance from both sides, but I do believe the North, it's inevitable, isn't it? Right, let's get some light on. Look. It's been a good game, though. This is going to be one I'm going to watch back for sure. I don't watch all of them back, or sometimes I'll skip through, but I think I was pretty spot on. The North had more opportunity if they were to get this up and running, but again, the state of the nation at the moment is main base is the most important place, and the South have just made one big main base. How many times have we seen this game where there's been no outposts? It's super rare, right? I mean, you could obviously qualify this as an outpost, but it's also under the umbrella of main, or at least main's defenses. But yeah, there are gaps in some of the lasers. They're not fully upgraded. That's something I'd be worried about. Bot network seems really loose. 1,500 bots. But yeah, we should be seeing attacks coming in soon. And yeah, the bugs are only now just that even bit stronger. So 24% revival chance. There's no more rockets that will be being sent on the north, at least not anytime soon. Meanwhile, and it is taking time, but it's happening, the south are continuing to just push on. LDS are a slight concern at this point, but not massively. And yeah, little by little, Clutch went down. I think they're trying to revive this. I think there was pressure on. They're never going to see this stream, so it's fine. I think there was just pressure on everybody else doing it, and it's just a case of, right, well, you know, if we don't do it now, then, you know, what does it even? I don't know. I get questions like that all the time. The answer is, it's just not the right time. Also, I'm in a new relationship, so it's not like I'm not going to pop the question anytime soon anyway, but it's one of those things, like, you shouldn't be pressured by family. You know, you've got a grandma who's always on to you going, oh, when are you going to get married? When are you tying the knot? Oh, modern day, you know, everybody's getting married now. Or if all your friends are doing it too, like, come on, do what's good for you, right? Don't follow what everybody else does. And I get the feeling that this is slightly out of peer pressure. They're good together. It's not a toxic relationship, but if you didn't ever want to get married, if it was never part of the plan, don't feel like you have to just because everybody else does, you know. It's expensive as well, mate. Holy shit, it's expensive. Yeah. But they're good friends, and I'm big fans, so I'm coming down. I need to send you something in Discord. I do. I'm setting up my own Discord server. Everything, I'll still operate in Bite Battles, around Bite Battles as well. But I've got a few other things I want to start doing, like Dota, CSGO. I kind of promised that I'd do some Dota streaming because I want to kind of get my rank back. And I still kind of play. I mean, I'm still really good. The meta is different now, so I need to relearn some of the new champions and some of the new items, but mechanically I've not lost anything there, so I am tempted. Oh, that's a huge wave, isn't it? Jeez. That's going to blitz this. They're going to go through this wall, or they're going to go through this wall? How are their powers? The powers looking okay, right? But yeah. Some of these guys will be respawning as well, which is frightening. And everybody with a health bar above their head is a boss. So you can see now they're just flooding through. And again, yes, they're being repelled back, but they're just chipping in, and chipping in. So over time, they'll just flood and overwhelm. And as we can see here, there's a second wave, and there's a third. And before you know it, absolutely, this is just... Yeah, nobody's in there at the moment. Where's my thing? Yeah, it's empty at the moment. There's literally nobody. I used it to do the interviews for the tournament. And for anybody that's watching that doesn't know, there is a 1v1 tournament, a cash prize tournament, next week on the 28th, and I'll be hosting that. Oh, yeah, that is... Okay, they've created a laser power block. There's still a rocket sat in the silo, but most of their production is down. So this is looking... I mean, they're on the clock, aren't they? Everywhere you look, they're just infested. And these lasers they're not cheap. Losing 10 at a time to each wave, like 10 or 15 of these each time, you're not building them that quickly. Eventually you will deplete your reserves and you will just left with what's on the ground. And there's more bosses coming in. Why don't we do a list? If you want, mate, create a list and chuck it into general chat. And then what we can do is we can tick them off one by one. Because a welcome message is good. I think a rule's like, don't be a dick. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to be here, try not to, try and be positive, have a positive influence, etc. Channel your inner ghosty. Ideas channel's a good shout, yeah. I'm not going to be able to do that whilst I'm streaming, though. Don't be a dick. Do be a dick. No, don't be a dick. When I used to play on sports teams, and when I coach as well, I say to if they're old enough to hear it, normally when they're about 14 plus, no dickheads. No dickheads. Because nobody wins if the environment's toxic. One person, one troll might enjoy it, but everybody else is going to hate it. So the way that I used to coach teams is that no dickheads. If somebody needs to go and get the corner flags, somebody needs to go and fill up the water bottles, right? So do it. Because if you do it this week, you don't have to do it next week. You know what I mean? And by putting accountability and responsibility into it, you really do see people kind of flourish and thrive. Laser production's getting a hit, boys, and once this goes down, there aren't many of these left. This is looking really perilous. I do believe this is one of the only laser builds they have. I don't remember seeing another one. Nuclear's going down as well. The reactor's still being placed. Are South dealing with any... They're not dealing with any issues, are they? Just chugging towards the next rocket. I mean, not a huge amount you can really do. The outpost is decimated. There are windows of opportunity. One thing I would say is if you delete a wall, put the wall back first. So if you're going to read out, if you're going to leave the base, remember to replace the wall that you pull up. Leaving a gap at this point is difficult. That's one thing I'm genuinely shocked about is they've managed, and again, it's because they have some really talented players on their side. They're not giving up. 160% dealing with that level is difficult, and the way they've kited, especially out in the outpost out here, the way they've kited them with capsules is no joke. I do believe, though, that 200% might be above what they can do. This, as a resource, must at some point exhaust itself. And as large and as egregious as these waves are, there's going to come a tipping point where lasers are going to start getting chipped away at. There's going to be no more production. In fact, look at this. There is no more production. Whatever lasers you have, what you have, everything from this point onwards is... No, that's game. Surely that's game. Look at the amount of stuff coming. And again, I say it every week, side swipes. Side swipes. The edges of your base are the most important part. We all know they'll be coming directly on top. But from behind, yeah. And they're just ravaging, savaging this defensive line. And again, as I said beforehand, and I like to kind of illustrate every now and again, the first wave doesn't need to break through, right? It just needs to do some damage. Let's say they take out this corner here. Yeah. Next wave that's coming through, let's use red for an example. They're going to be able to go deeper, further, and they're going to be able to savage even more. And as it goes on and on and on until there's nothing left. And another 2,000 white science goes across. South have maintained their rocket building. It's slow, but they've maintained it. And as I say that, we're now looking at 193% evolved bugs. These are no joke. They're not on the map yet. They'll literally, as I'm speaking now, be spawning. Yeah, this is getting wild. And as we see, look, they're just carving out like a hammer and a chisel, just chipping away at the base. And if they die by the time they get to here, that's fine. Look how much damage they've done. Look how much this costs. And even here, like chipping a hole into the wall so the next wave can just walk through. That's kind of a bit brutal, right? So there are areas which are, yeah, in need of some love, and they're not going to find it. So this area here has just been absolutely pulled apart. And again, and I know obviously I'm speaking to the speaking to the masses here, you guys know this. But once they've gotten through, they're going to start creating holes that the next wave can come through, right? So anything that's left around lingering that's not being hit is just going to start tearing through. As we can see here, look, he's created a little hole that he can get through. There will be another wave that will come down and just find this hole and then just go through. So they'll stop slamming into the wall because they found the path of least resistance. Yeah, this is a good game, actually. I want to say well done to the North, and at the same time too, congratulations to the South. There's not a huge amount, I don't think, that can be achieved now other than just defending for pride's sake. So yeah. Tasty ass water, that. I mean, the bosses will take damage, but if we have a look over the health bar here, if you look on the far right hand side of the screen, they're sat in poison and they're literally not taking any damage. They're that strong. So, yeah, a gallant effort. Gallant is, I think, the way that I would describe the North's defense. They are defensive masterclass. Coincidentally, the South equally so, defensive masterclass. As we see here, as I spoke just before, they are walking through the hole that they just created. You know, sometimes you have to think like a bug in order to beat the bugs. And again, look, they're finding some resistance. They're just going to chop even further into this. They might even widen the gap so that the next wave or 2 or even 10 can just get through this for free and then just, yeah, start walking towards the objective. Meanwhile, all the while, South are continuing to build rockets. And another 1,000 goes across. Oh, that's from Roomboggler to the South. Okay. The South is still dealing. Well, okay, 182%. It's still, still a lot, but I don't think that there's much left. There's much life left in the North. It's been a good game, though. It's been a very good game. It's been a fun game to commentate on. Thank you for joining me for this as well, guys. I say this every week, but I am, it's blown me away, the response that we've got from doing this. A very small stream on a very niche game mode. I really welcome it. I know most of you guys watching are stream sniping. That's absolutely fine. But for any of you that are just fans of the way the stream goes, thank you very much. We're closing in on a milestone as well. So next time I stream, I might try and say, look, if we could hit, the next level of followers, that would be really cool. But the fact that even 5 people are here to watch this, thank you. Finally, as we can see, gun turrets being made redundant, getting yanked and yeeted off the map, as they should be, because they should not be here. The bugs are very, very close to Silo. Scarily close to Silo, actually. The wave is still ripping through the defenses. I only come here after getting kicked. Wait, you got kicked off a team? Or was it internet connection was a problem, right? So there hasn't been any griefing this game. But if you got kicked off a team, we need to find out why. You didn't stack, stall, steal, grid, or pack, did you? Because that would be a kickable offense. All 5 would be a bannable offense. Oh dear, here we go. That silo is the one you have to protect. These bugs are the ones you have to kill. And if you can't do either of those, you do lose the game. And as we can see now, a gallant effort. Oh, you got dropped. Ah, that sucks, mate. That does suck. Well, I'm happy to have you here, my man. It's really nice to have people to join in on this stuff. And the silo's taking damage. Base is being destroyed and ravaged. And at the 3 hour and 27 mark, maybe the 3 hour 28, I say GG's. Well played. That was a really, really solid game. Christy got the award for most deaths. Well done. That's not one to be proud of. That's like the joke one. But well done either way. First game and first MVP. So that will go up on this website, if I remember correctly. So you'll be able to have a look back at your stats. It won't go up right now. The ultimate Timber Deathmaster. Yeah, good game. That was really good fun. Do we raid someone? We should raid somebody, right? That's fine. Do you guys have like a favorite streamer that's currently streaming that I can raid real quick? We'll just say hello. Say Happy New Year or something, you know? Is there anybody on? There's a Formula 1 YouTuber that I quite like. I don't know if you guys like F1. I'm gonna do this. This guy's not a gamer, by the way. So say hello. Yeah, let's raid this guy. He's pretty fun. And thank you again for joining me. Hey, that's no problem at all, mate. I'm more than happy to help anybody new that comes in. Type raid. Are we allowed to? Yeah, let's raid these guys. It doesn't matter if it's subscriber only or whatever. Just yeah, I like to kind of pass it on every now and again. So yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. I'll catch you in a bit.
OG Ghosty, thank you for the